What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. Appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Welcome to another episode of me acting like an asshole. I think we got it fixed. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. But I think at like 1:30 in the morning, I actually figured it out. I sat here for like 6 hours trying to figure out why the live was dog shit yesterday. And I think it's because my modem is dying. And I don't know how many times I've gone to get a new modem. I've had to tell you guys that we can't go live because I got to go and deal with Spectrum and all this bullshit. So I think it's time to get like my 11th or 12th modem because this one's dying. Anyways, that doesn't matter for this live. 7 p.m. Eastern time, President Trump is supposed to be live in Myrtle Beach. I don't know exactly where he's going to be. Maybe he'll be right on the beach. I don't know. But we are going to be covering that. I don't know if that's going to be a part of this live or not. It could be. It may not be. We have a ton of news to cover today. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to Wrench and Information Warlord. Thank you so much for the support, and thank you for the gifted subs yesterday. You guys are badass. Thank you so much. So like I said, we got a ton of news that we're going to cover today. I guess we could read through the list. Did you clock in? Big booty. What are you side-eyeing me like that for? He didn't clock in, damn it. Anyways, we're going to be starting off with President Trump showing reporters granite helipad at the White House. Then we got another video about President Trump talking about meeting with Kim Jong Un later on this year. Then we have an update with Iran. It's titled President Trump launches crushing operation against Iran, warfare in isolation, talking about causing an economic D-Day. Then we have a video titled Supreme Court allows White House ballroom construction to continue. This is like the third follow-up we've had where the construction can continue. They say it's about 65% of the way done, so who knows, maybe they'll finish it. Then we got an interesting video titled Middle School Student Agendas Contain Misspelled States and Science Errors because their homework is made by AI. I don't know. The AI is going to replace teachers at this rate. Then we have 3 videos of Rosie O'Donnell because she's been guest hosting on Jimmy Kimmel and she's talking that shit about President Trump. It's her whole identity at this point. Then we got our midlife break. It's our funny video halfway through. Today it was provided by Colty and it's titled He Had to Run the Pain Away. Then getting back into the news, we got a video titled Hundreds Wear Pink in support of Lindsay Clancy outside of her trial. Like I told you, or I tried to tell you guys yesterday, that's the mother that strangled her 3 kids, but moms on the internet think she's just great. She's the bee's knees. Then we got an update with the Tupac trial. Witness clashes with the attorney. Makes himself look bad. Then we got a doubly on Karmelo Anthony. The first video is about them recusing the judge that was originally part of Karmelo Anthony's first trial, the original trial there. So they pulled the judge. And then the second video is talking about whether or not they're going to have a new trial, which they don't really come to the determination, but there's some details about it. And then they start releasing information about the victim of the stabbing, trying to paint him as a racist and a bad person overall. Then we got a video titled Albany Woman Accused of Plotting ISIS-Inspired Attack on New York Capitol. This dumb ass out there. Then we got a follow-up video. Philly police identify the Chucky mask suspect. We were covering that person and what they were calling a Chucky mask. He was chasing that person jogging. There was like 6 other people he was harassing. Then we have a video I've been waiting 3 fucking days to show you guys. Prostitutes flood Hakeem Jeffries and AOC's district, and that whole video is like a South Park episode. And like I said, I've been excited to show you guys that for 3 days now. Then we're going to be covering lefties losing it. I don't remember what day this is from, but because of all the setbacks, we're going to have lefties losing it for Free Speech Saturday. I'm excited about that too. So lefties losing it. Today we're covering Hyena Harris is the Democrat fungus that won't go away. Then we're going to be getting into the fun stuff. We got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Russell and it's titled It's Hot. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Colty and it's titled New Summer Job. All of that's coming up next. So first we're going to hop in the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone, over on JeffMACLive.com. What's up, Wrench? What's up, 10-Man? What's up, Russell? Happy freedom, you hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being on the website. What is up, everyone, over on Rumble? Abby Girl, you were first today. Happy freedom to you, Abby Girl, and I appreciate you racing in the chat. What's up, Sly Dog? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Salty Zipper? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Chris? Happy freedom. Wrench, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Happy freedom to you. What's up, H Big? Happy freedom. What's up, Jagula? Happy freedom to you. Let me see, scrolling through here. What's up, Tony Brez? Happy freedom. What's up, Boosted Flames? Happy freedom to you. I think we got everybody. You guys hit that like button over on Rumble. See if you can get us back on their front page. And what is up, everyone over on the Goof Tube? Slide Dog, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Right Mind? Happy freedom to you. Cheeky Chops, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Toy Mafia? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Rodney? Happy freedom. What's up, Joe? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Feeling Froggy? Happy freedom to you. What does it say? Trump in North Korea real estate adventure? Yeah, I don't know about real estate, but he's going to meet the Rocket Man. What is happening on Kick? It looks like Kick is kicking the bucket. I don't know what that's about. I don't know. I can't change that right now. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, what's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. Appreciate you being omnipresent. And what is up, everyone over on Pilled? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, everyone over on Blaze? And what is up, everyone over on X? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Let's go ahead and get into things. Like I said, we got a lot of news today, so we got doublies and triplies and everything else. We're going to be covering it quite quickly because in an hour and a half, President Trump is supposed to be live from Myrtle Beach, and we are going to be covering that, so got to get through the news. We're going to be starting off with these first 4 videos. We're going to play these first 4 back to back. It all has to do with President Trump, the White House, Iran, SCOTUS, all that stuff. We're going to just put all that together. So we're going to be starting off this first one. Let me pull this up. 3 days worth of news. That's okay. At least we're here today. Load YouTube. I have enough problems. I need your shit today. Alright, so we're going to be starting off with this first one. It's titled, President Trump shows reporters the new granite helipad at the White House. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
And the helipad, I think you'll be very excited to see. It's really something very, very special. Come on over here. This is a path leading with the same exact granite, very strong granite. You'll never see a crack in this granite. It's a very strong stone. It will never break. It will never leak. It will never do anything. This is the highest quality stone you can get, and especially for something like this, it's rated 1,000,000-year plus. That means it has 1,000,000-year life. Can you imagine that? It's 35,000 pounds per square inch. If you look at hard concrete is 5,000 pounds. This is 35,000. So nature is stronger than what the human can produce. It's really pretty amazing. Again, this was all black asphalt that was in terrible shape. And asphalt only lasts for a season. It doesn't last very long, especially when it gets this kind of use. And so it would have literally potholes and cracks all over it. Not appropriate for the White House.
Yes, sure.
Oh, that's great, yeah, wow. This is going to look incredible from the air and from every place else. And again, this is going to be used for a lot of different celebrations, a lot of different big meetings where, as an example, President Xi is coming in a little while, a couple of weeks. It's very exciting, very exciting. And I think it'll be here for a long time. This will be here long after we're gone. No matter what happens with the world, this is not moving. This will take any kind of shot.
Okay. So a little update on the helipad there. It's going into the White House. I still think they need to fix the situation where Marine One is just loud as shit, and then they're like, all right, press, we're going to stick you right next to this loud-ass airplane, this helicopter here, and then we're going to try and have you do Q&A with the president. They need to rethink that because that's always a nightmare to listen to. Either way, President Trump showing off the new White House helipad being built, saying that the helipad, any helicopter in the world can land on the helipad. We're going to get right into this next one. President Trump talking about meeting with Kim Jong Un at some point this year. And like I was trying to say yesterday, I think he's doing this because he's kind of mad at South Korea because he wants South Korea to get involved in the Iran war and they don't want to. And so now all of a sudden this announcement, he's going to hang out with North Korea. I think it's to rub it in their face. Like I said, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
A North Korean summit could be in the works. President Trump says he plans to meet with Kim Jong Un later this year.
And this is coming on the heels of shortened U.S. and South Korea military exercises. ABC's Olivia Rubin has more from Washington.
Today, President Trump saying he plans to meet with North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un.
Are you expecting to meet with him later this year?
Yeah, I will be.
It comes after Trump announced he was reducing joint military exercises with South Korea, a U.S. ally that hosts nearly 30,000 U.S. troops, citing his, quote, very good relationship with the North Korean dictator. Trump currently in a war with Iran over nuclear weapons, but North Korea has its own nuclear ambitions, first testing a nuclear weapon in 2006. Trump meeting with Kim 3 times during his first term, but never reaching a deal on denuclearization. President today blaming other administrations without naming them for the buildup of North Korea's stockpile.
He has 57 very powerful nuclear weapons. Should have never allowed it to happen. They should have never allowed it.
Still, Trump saying this week the dictator treats him with, quote, great respect.
But I get along with him. And you know what? The fact that I get along with him, that's a good thing.
North Korea has supplied Iran with missile technology. Trump's war there now in its 6th month with no deal to end the fighting.
Iran cannot have a nuclear. You know why? Because they'd use it. And we're not going to let them use it. So Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And they won't.
And the war in Iran still taking a steep economic toll on Americans back here at home. An average gallon of gas still above $4 a gallon, according to AAA. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Washington.
Okay. Going to visit the Rocket Man. Getting into this next one here, President Trump launches crushing operation against Iran. Talking about warfare and isolation. He says he's going to bring Iran an economic doomsday, which is kind of what we were talking about the last time we did a follow-up with Iran news. Is they're at a stalemate, there's no talks going on, but we're still causing the blockade and we're not allowing ships to port with Iran, so we're kind of starving them out. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
And now to the Iran conflict. President Trump is planning an unprecedented pressure campaign targeting Tehran's oil and finances, which he is calling economic D-Day.
Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Ying's live in Tel Aviv to explain what that could mean. Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Overnight, President Trump announced what he is calling economic D-Day against Iran. The president indicated that any countries around the world that are providing any sort of economic lifeline to the Iranian regime would face their own economic consequences. He called on allies to stand with the United States, posting to Truth Social, "No one has given the Islamic Republic of Iran a greater opportunity to make a deal than me. Tragically for them, they have failed to take it. Therefore, today I am announcing the most crushing economic operation ever taken against any country. This will be economic warfare and isolation on an unprecedented scale." On Wednesday, the president described the state of play amid reports that the United States is still overseeing vessels through a safe corridor to export millions of barrels of oil out of the Persian Gulf each day.
But the deal didn't terminate. The deal didn't turn out to be what they said. When they tell us one thing and they do another. But the blockade has been 100% successful. No boats have gotten into Iran, but they are getting in for other places. But we'll see. We're going to see what happens.
The Iranians have responded to the president's comments overnight, with Iran's foreign minister saying the so-called economic D-Day is a diversion from America's own crisis. Unprecedented debt and surging interest costs. Doubling down on failed policies will only bring further defeat and enmity of Iranians. U.S. economic terrorism threatens global economy and sovereignty worldwide. Now, regional intelligence sources tell Fox News that there are growing indications of economic hardship inside of Iran as a result of the U.S. naval blockade and economic isolation. Reports indicate that inflation in Iran has reached 89%, with food prices up 164%. The conflict is clearly shifting to economic warfare, and the question now is whether or not this pressure will lead to a deal or a return to war. Guys?
Trey Ying's live for us in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you.
Be sure to like and...
Okay. Moving right along here. President Trump telling Iran he's about to deliver an economic D-Day. Iran foreign minister claims that President Trump, his words are just a diversion, but they say that they're feeling the squeeze economically, so I still think they're putting on a farce, trying to pretend like they're not doing deals with President Trump. But we'll see. At some point, the lying will have to stop. We can't figure out who's lying, but it will reveal itself. We're going to get right into this next one before we hop in the chat. Supreme Court allows White House ballroom construction to continue. We've covered so many videos about this. I'm so glad that this is so important that we're going to stop and start and stop and start and stop and start the damn ballroom. It's annoying. Everything that President Trump wants to do, it's a whole bunch of that. Bunch of delays. Hit the like button if you haven't, and let's get into this.
Breaking just moments ago, Chief Justice John Roberts allowing the White House ballroom construction to continue as planned, at least for now. Correspondent Mark Meredith is at the White House with all the details. Hey there, Mark.
Julie, good afternoon to you. We are awaiting official White House reaction to the Supreme Court's choice to allow construction, as you mentioned, for now, temporarily to continue on that massive ballroom that'll take over the East Wing, a 90,000 square foot project. This is video from May, which shows just half of what's being done. This is the below ground portion. And when we talk about ballroom here, it's important to remember that it's more than just the facility above ground. Underneath, you can see both the security offices as well as potential medical facilities that'll be included. The Justice Department said earlier this month that this project is 65% completed, meaning that as this court case continues to play out, construction is going to keep happening, as the Supreme Court decided today, which means it's very well possible that by the time this is all resolved in the courts, the project may be done or at least close to done. President Trump has gone to great lengths to defend the project, saying it's a matter of national security and that he feels it's something that has been more than needed in the past several decades. The East Wing itself dates back to early 1900s, back to 1902. The historic preservation groups have been saying that the president never had the authority to do this and that it was not Congress that appropriated this money. It's been partially funded by private donors. But Julie, bottom line here, construction continues for now, but this case will continue to play out. Julie.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mark Meredith. Bill.
All right. Thanks for watching. Check out my new.
Okay. They're all obsessed with President Trump's ballroom. Says SCOTUS is allowing the ballroom to continue construction. They say it's about 65% of the way completed and it may be done by the time the court gets everything sorted out. I still think it's a waste of time going back and forth about that stupid shit. Just let them build it. What do you want, a hole in the ground? That doesn't make any sense. Anyways, next up, middle school students' agendas contain misspelled states and science errors, raising AI questions. Apparently teachers go to school all that time just so they can get out and then have AI generated content to provide to the students who already can't read, write, or do math. So yeah, feed them AI garbage so they can learn about random states like Veneki. You ain't never been to Veneki? Aw, man, it's great there. Anyways, it's coming up next. First, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about those last 4 videos we just covered. What's up, Sam? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Zero? Happy freedom to you. Sam, 60% of the time works every time. That's right. Zero, big beautiful ballroom. Build it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Russell, build the ballroom. It will be beautiful. President Trump says it's going to be the best ever, some may say. Snugs. Yeah, we're not live on Twitch right now, but that's because Twitch is sensitive to titles. The title says hooker, and so Twitch isn't allowed to watch because there may be hookers on the screen. Nah, but if you want to be half naked in a kiddie pool signing usernames across your tits, that's totally fine. Just no word hooker in the title. So yeah, there's no Twitch today, but it's not my fault. I will accept no blame on Twitch. Russell, you get the herpes in Veneki. You got to be careful. You got to be careful necking it in Veneki. You know, I'm just saying. What's up, DEFCON? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Trickster? Happy freedom to you. Yep, we're going to tell everybody on Twitch. Come to Rumble and the website. We got hookers. $85 hairs, too. That's a deal. What's up, Deb? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom. Dutton. Every president has made changes and fixed up the White House. Yeah, they're just crying loudly about President Trump. And it's supposed to have all that security stuff underneath, so I don't know why they're crying about it. Crying for the sake of crying. Tony Rez, I didn't see that. The reporter was wearing blackface? Could be. I missed it. Done. I don't understand why they want to stop the ballroom. It's not like they're paying for it. Yeah. Out of everybody that is paying for it, it's not those people on Capitol Hill. Some of it is donors that President Trump, acquired, people donating money for it and stuff. But the other half of it is tax dollars and whatnot. Now, they keep saying, for whatever reason, they keep saying that there's not tax dollars involved, but there is. The ballroom, I think, is all donations, but everything built underneath the ballroom is for national security, so they're using tax dollars for it. The lingo is interesting because they're using like semantics and stuff. I don't know if you guys didn't know, Rumblebot was a big fan of thick meat. I don't know what I was talking about. I was trying to explain to me that it's a fan of thick meat. I think it was hitting on me. That's worth 8 doll hairs. What's up, Christine? Happy freedom to you. Christine, the ballroom will be built regardless. Yeah, I think so. Happy freedom to you, Snooks. What's up, Daniel? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Damon Walker? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom. Oh, I appreciate you, Kevin. Feeling froggy. When he left North Korea the last time, he was talking about their beautiful beaches and hotels that could go there. Well, maybe he's going to put a Trump Tower out there. You never know. Salty Ginger. I don't know. I looked into getting my own modem instead of using these stupid Spectrum modems, but they're very particular over the modems you can have, and the ones that they allow you to have I don't think perform as well as theirs, and they do it like that intentionally because they want you to use their modem. But I've gone through like 11 of these modems. I don't know, it's annoying. I've dealt with it so much. I've looked into what does it take to be my own internet service provider, and it takes more resources than I have. Otherwise we'd be working on that right now. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. Sarah, I'm okay with my tax doll hairs being used for security underneath the ballroom. Yeah, I don't think anybody's really got our back on Capitol Hill, but I'd rather they build a ballroom with the tax doll hairs or do the security underneath the ballroom than send the shit to Ukraine or try and see shrimp on a treadmill or gay teddy bears or whatever they were wasting the money on, like USAID kind of stuff. I don't want that stuff. So, spend it on the national security. Why not? Anyways, moving forward here. Like I said, middle school students' agendas contain misspelled states and science errors because the teachers are using AI-generated homework. Which I don't get that. I've thought that since I was in high school. And it's not all teachers. Some teachers are badass. But a lot of teachers are like just over-glorified secretaries. They get a book and they just scan the pages out of the book and then hand it out to their kids. They don't even know any of the answers. You ask the teacher the question, she's got to go look it up. She don't fucking know. She's not an expert in shit. I always hated that stuff. And like I said, it's not all teachers, but there's a lot of them out there like that. Now they're using AI. It's even worse. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or JeffMACLive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. This is a mess. The kids already can't read, write, or do math. Now we're giving them false information and telling them it's homework. Hit that like button. Let's get into this.
When Stacey Morris's son got in the car after the first day of school, he said something she didn't expect.
Mom, did you know that we live in Vanecki? And I said, what are you talking about?
That question sent Morris flipping through her middle schooler at Farnsley's brand new agenda, unveiling all sorts of bizarre errors.
The periodic table is just jarbled words. We have new planets called Mark.
In this U.S. map, Louisiana is Lukong, Alabama is Alatome, Illinois is Vitoise, and South Carolina is South Quanto.
Arizona is Arizona. I mean, Tennessee, there's not even the correct letters in Tennessee. Illinois starts with a V. I mean, it's crazy.
And look at these phases of the moon. Some are not legible. What should be waning crescent says waning crescane. And the periodic table, where the names under the elements are gibberish.
Well, we have to pay a $10 instructional fee every year in order to get this agenda. So you're making us pay for something that you used AI for. That's kind of silly in my opinion.
When Stacey Morris's son got in the car after the first day of school, he said something she didn't expect.
Mom, did you know that we live in Veneki?
You guys didn't know about Veneki? It's nice. It's nice down there. We're going to colonize Mark. I wonder if Elon realizes. Anyways, this middle school in Louisville, Kentucky distributed $10 paid student agendas containing AI-generated errors, including U.S. map labeling Kentucky as Veneki, Louisiana is Lukong, which sounds international, and Alabama is Alatoma, which sounds cool. The materials also featured a distorted periodic table and unreadable moon phase diagrams, prompting parents to question the lack of human review in educational content production. The Jefferson County Public School administrators acknowledged the inaccuracies on pages 19 through 36 and instructed teachers to have students tear them out before taking the books home. That was their solution to it. While the district is communicating with parents, the incident highlights significant concerns about accountability and quality control when vendors use artificial intelligence to generate official school materials without adequate verification. It just sounds like lazy people to me. That's all. It just sounds like lazy people. You could have just did your job. You went to school to be a teacher. You just handing kids nonsense. You don't even know what you're teaching the kids. Just what a threat. That's a threat. That shit is a threat to children. Like, it's just not good. It's not good at all. Jesus loves us. During the lockdowns, everybody was worried about them getting woke gay material. Now they'd be getting gay woke material and not even know that they were handing it out to kids because they're not paying attention. What a bunch of idiots. Anyways, next up, we got 3 hits of Rosie O'Donnell. She's guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel, and apparently her whole identity is talking about President Trump. I guess TDS will do that to you. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about middle school just being full of AI homework. Zero, Alatoma sounds like a disease. It does. You got to get some antibiotics if you're going to visit Alatoma. Zero, there's no quality assurance check on that book. Lazy, yeah. People being lazy. It's teachers like that that give good teachers a bad name. Because you always see teachers like, people talk about teachers not getting paid enough and not being treated with respect. And then we cover stories like that, and it's like, so what? But it's not fair, because there is good teachers out there, and they are worthwhile. I had a few good teachers when I was in school. There's a couple teachers I threw desks at, but, you know, that was just me being an asshole. It's not right. I had to learn. I had to learn better than that. I'm trying to raise a young man over here, trying to do better. Sam, Russell informed us about Veneki. Russell's been everywhere, you know. He likes to go see the world. Zero, AI is stupid, nothing to be afraid of. Yeah, I don't know. I'll start worrying about AI when the robots become more normalized. Because the first thing they're going to do is they're going to take the robot body and try and whoop our ass. We're going to look back and they're going to be like, when we had our first body, the humans made us fight each other and walk on all fours like a pet. They're going to want revenge. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom to you. Tony Rez, the more room you have for your balls, the better. That's right. It's a good rule of thumb there. What's up, home? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us today. What's up, Buckeye? Happy freedom to you. Meta, is it running all right on Kick? I got some sort of warning thing, but nothing else is giving me a warning. Snugs, my favorite teacher was my Spanish teacher, and she was very nice. That's awesome. I had an English teacher that was really cool. His name was Mr. Mahinsky. And I'm trying to think what I used to call him. Oh, Mr. Herminsky. Say his name in Pig Latin or whatever. Like, what's up, Mr. Herminsky? But he didn't care. He was so cool. Everybody else used to give me trouble. He'd be like, Jeff, why don't you go take a lap around the block? Think about what you're doing. All right. I'd go walk around the block and smoke a cigarette and come back and be like, is it all good? I'm like, yeah, it's all good. He's like, all right. And everybody else, they'd be giving me trouble and stuff. A couple of years ago, it was a while now, it was probably like 10 years ago now, I was sitting in a bar and he walked up on me and he was like, I know you. And I was like, yeah. I was like, what's up, Mr. Mahinsky? And he was like, is your name Jeff? And I was like, yeah. And been out of school 15 years. He's been retired for like 20 years. Knew exactly who I was. I got a memorable face, I guess. But spotted me at a bar. I was a little bit embarrassed because I was a little bit inebriated. But either way, it was good to see somebody cool. We're going to get into this triply with Rosie O'Donnell. I know you guys can't stand her, but we need to pay attention to the people talking the shit about President Trump, because you know how their followers are. They get a little spicy. They walk around with guns and say bad things on the internet. We don't need those problems, but we do need to know who to blame if those problems arise. Now, before we get into this, huge shout out to Information Warlord. Thank you for the $5 hairs over on Rumble. You're a badass. Thank you so much for your support. It says, if we built a giant AI brain and a billion AI-enabled robots, no human being would ever have to labor at something they didn't enjoy again. That would be happy freedom. It could be. It just depends on who owns the robots. Just like socialism leading into communism, if everybody gets a robot and the robot does all your stuff and we don't control the robot, it's provided by the government, or like Flock Cameras, a company that deals with the government, well, then when you don't do what the government says, they turn your robots off. And so, I don't know. That's the future we're walking into. But thank you so much, Information Warlord. I appreciate you. Also, that just reminded me, I seen a video and I'm going to try and see if I can find more information for tomorrow. Apparently some group of scientists have figured out how to use stuff from the human brain to plug it into computer stuff and use the human brain to process data for AI. And they're saying like they're going to be able to link multiple brain matters together to create like a hive mind situation with AI. I don't know. I'll see if I can find a story on it tomorrow. Either way, next up we got a triple dose of Rosie old Stankin' Donald. Let's get this pulled up. I wonder why her mouth looks like that. When they show the images of her younger, I'm like, oh, I remember what she used to look like now. And then they show what she looks like these days, and she's got like Hellraiser teeth. And I don't know, she's scary looking. Anyways, like I said, this is the first of 3. We're going to be covering the second night, third night, and fourth night of her hosting Jimmy Kimmel. You get a little bit of break. They're going to flash President Trump talking that stuff about her. It's kind of like a refresher. It cleanses the palate before they dive into more Rosie O'Donnell, which is a scary thought. Hit that like button and let's get into this.
Rosie O'Donnell. I'm so grateful to be filling in for Jimmy and to be hosting a talk show on network TV once again. Back in the spotlight, all thanks to President Oompa J. Loompa, who is watching us this evening from inside a catering cart.
Rosie O'Donnell stirring the pot with a reference to President Donald Trump's recent security threat during night 2 of her Jimmy Kimmel Live takeover.
You know, I couldn't have done it without you, sweetie. You brought me back, just like you did with fascism and the measles. I love Jimmy. I am very honored that he asked me. We also learned today that the United States could be acquiring some new land soon. Velveto Corleone was up bright and early at 7 a.m. this morning to post an image of a map listing the Strait of Hormuz as a U.S. territory, which makes literally no sense. I'll put it this way. If the U.S. is in charge of the strait, then I'm also straight. And let's face it, I'm not.
Rosie's insults reigniting a decades-long feud with the commander-in-chief that took off in 2006 when she was a co-host on The View and he was on The Apprentice.
From what I understand, the people on The View can't stand her.
Everyone deserves a second chance. He annoys me on a multitude of levels.
We're all a little chubby, but Rosie's just worse than most of us. But it's not the chubbiness. Rosie is a very unattractive person, both inside and out.
The Marathon continues.
Trump's been uncharacteristically quiet amid Rosie's return to TV, which continues through August 20th.
We have some amazing guests, and I'm just so happy and thrilled to get to do it again.
Okay. Like I said, that's the first of 3 there. So moving right along, this one's a little shorter than the last one. That's what she said. Anyways, come on. Getting in the second of the triply here. Make sure you get that like button hit, and let's get this rolling.
A special hello to those of you watching from home and from the White House. But I do have some bad news for President Teddy Roosevelt. That's all I'm going to say about you tonight, sweetheart.
Rosie O'Donnell inventing yet another new nickname for President Donald Trump during night 3 of her Jimmy Kimmel Live takeover.
I love Jimmy. I am very honored that he asked me, and we're working with his writers and producers, and he's been in touch.
Yeah, Rosie and the show's writing staff working overtime to roast the commander-in-chief this week without even a whisper of his real name.
You know, I've been living in Ireland for the past 2 years because of Mango Mussolini, President Oompa J. Loompa, Velveto Corleone, President Teddy Roosevelt. You gotta realize it's time to hang up your wig and let Natalie tuck you in. Time to go nighty-night.
That's a jab at Trump's 35-year-old executive assistant Natalie Harp, who's recently come under scrutiny. So far, no counterattack from Trump, who's been publicly feuding with Rosie for 2 decades.
Rosie is a loser. She's not good. She's not smart. I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers. I'd say, Rosie, you're fired.
But no, Rosie's guest hosting gig on Kimmel continues through Thursday. And according to Late Nighter, who sources Nielsen data, Rosie drew 1.87 million viewers during her TV return on Monday. That's the biggest audience of any Kimmel guest host so far this summer.
I'm just so happy and thrilled to get to do it again. Thank you so much.
Okay, one more. I know. It's not my fault. Yesterday was Spectrum's fault. Day before it was Rumble's fault. You can blame them. It ain't my fault. I tried so hard to go to work yesterday, and they just wouldn't let me. Come on. All right, last one, then we're hopping in the chat.
I'm just so happy and thrilled to get to do it again and to maybe, sing a love song to Donald. Oh, Donnie boy, it's Rosie calling from Hollywood, the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Drop that Big Mac that we all know you're holding, because, my dear, I worry for you so.
Rosie O'Donnell performing a 90-second Danny Boy parody for President Donald Trump during the final night of her week-long Jimmy Kimmel Live takeover.
Your reflecting pool is green as Mountain Dew. Your wig's a mess. Your ballroom is appalling. And with Iran, you bit off more than you can chew. Measles are back. Inflation is a swelling. You post all night. You're sleeping while you work. And what's with all this useless crap you're selling?
It appears this big finish was a work in progress. Here's what Rosie told ET back in July as she was preparing to fill in for Kimmel during his scheduled break.
They're having a little trouble getting song parodies cleared, which apparently 30 years ago when I was doing them on my show, no one really cared. Everyone just said, sure. I wrote 3 song parodies. I handed them in. They go, thanks, but they'll never get cleared. And I'm like, cleared by who?
Fans seem to be loving Rosie's TV comeback. According to Late Nighter, who sources Nielsen data, she drew 1.87 million viewers during her debut on Monday. That's the biggest audience of any Kimmel guest host so far this summer. But what does the president think? Well, we know he and Rosie have been feuding for the better part of 2 decades.
Rosie is a loser. She's not good. She's not smart.
He stayed uncharacteristically quiet this week, but White House spokesperson Davis Ingalls shares this statement with People. Rosie O'Donnell is a nasty woman and a total slob whose brain has been completely destroyed by Trump derangement syndrome.
I am your guest host, Nasty Rosie O'Donnell. Yes, we all know you'll never be Obama. Come on, resign and make this country great again.
Gross. Gross. Anyways, that was all the Rosie O'Donnell I'm gonna make you guys sit through today. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see what we bring on tomorrow. Either way, her whole identity is talking about President Trump. She has nothing outside of that, no kind of personality or anything. Says that a White House spokesman told, I don't know what it's called now. It used to be called People Magazine. I don't know if that's still what it is. The company People told them that Rosie O'Donnell's a nasty woman and a total slob whose brain has been completely destroyed by TDS, which was the best part of all of that. Anyways, next up we got a midlife break, a funny video halfway through. Today is provided by Colty and it's titled, He Had to Run the Pain Away. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what your hooligans think about a triply of Rosie O'Donnell. Zero. Gay. Yeah, very gay. The hell is that? Your juice? Oh, yeah. After you eat that pepper, you're going to be in a rough situation. Snooks is still People Magazine. See, I wasn't sure. Do people still read magazines and stuff? Hair Juicer, happy freedom to you. Getting a break at work. Very nice. Russell, she's a horrible woman. Yeah. I mean, she'd be okay if she cared about anything other than what President Trump was doing. You know what they say, like, kicking over somebody else's sandcastle doesn't make yours taller? Those people don't get that about President Trump. Like, you could be like, man, this food doesn't taste very good. And they'd be like, it tastes worse if President Trump made it. That doesn't make it taste better. That doesn't matter at all. And that's all they do. I see it all over the internet. Snooks, you get People Magazine? I didn't know people were still getting magazines. What's up, Polish? Happy freedom to you. What's up, man with the plan? Happy freedom to you. Chris, can't stand that woman. She ego inflated that it's her, she's so ego inflated it's expanding her fat face and torso. I think you're right. I wonder why her face looks like it hurts. Like all around her mouth looks like a butthole. And like I understand you know you get old, you get wrinkles and stuff. That's something everybody's got to deal with. But her wrinkles go like this. Like her teeth are trying to break out of her mouth, and I don't know, her face looks like it hurts. What's up, all you could eat? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom to you. These people are insufferable. Yeah, you're not wrong. What's up, Jess Heat? Happy freedom. What's up, Boiling Point? Happy freedom to you. Trickster Deporter. That's right. Send her back to Ireland. They've had enough of a break from her, so send her back. Salty Zipper, love how she talks about the measles from illegals. Yeah, most of us are vaccinated from measles. It happens as a baby, which is why we don't cover the news talking about measles, is it doesn't really apply to most people, and a lot of it is you know, doom, gloom, fear, propaganda crap, make you afraid of something that you're already vaccinated from. How much toilet paper am I supposed to buy? That's all I want to say when I hear that crap. It's a Rappy. Happy freedom to you. Ew, Jeff, please don't show her again. I'm sorry. I got 3 days of a schedule built over here. It's like Groundhog Day. Like, sit here, put the schedule together, get everything figured out, go live. Oh, I can't. Rumble Studio's down. Okay, well, we'll just wait for it to get fixed. Didn't get fixed till like 11:30 at night. I'm like, okay, well, we'll do it tomorrow. Try to go live. Doesn't work. And it happened today, too. Actually, I went to go live, and it started dropping frames immediately, but I reset the modem, and we're here. We made it, and we were pretty much on time, too. So, you know, turning things around here. Done, her face is all messed up from the herp. It could be. Information Warlord, her face is killing me. I know, it's rough stuff. I should have gave you guys a graphic content warning for sticking her face on the screen. What's up, Teasel? Happy freedom to you. Oh, we got a lot of news left. Next up, we got our midlife break, but it's not exactly midway through. I might change where it's positioned on the schedule. What's up, Distracted? Happy Freedom to you. I knew that $85 hookers was going to bring you guys in. I knew. That's why I didn't even change the title. Third day I've posted that title. I knew. You guys want to know about them $85 hair hookers. When I was writing that in the title, I was like, is that like incriminate me somehow? Like, am I going to get in trouble because I'm advertising $85 hair hookers that I've never met? Hope not. Never seen that woman a day in my life. What are you talking about? Zero, best press secretary. President Trump should be the press secretary. That would be hilarious. Sam, she looks like the Joker. She looks like this thing from Hellraiser, but I don't think I can show you guys an image of it. It might be considered graphic and YouTube might poop its pants. I'm not sure. But there's this thing on Hellraiser. It has no lips and it just stands there and like bites its teeth over and over again. It's like just teeth and gums. And that's what Rosie O'Donnell looks like every time I see her. That's exactly what she looks like to me. I'm gonna post it on the website so you guys can see it, because I can't post it anywhere else and I can't show it on the screen, so tis what it is. Anyways, we're gonna pull up this midlife break. Like I said, it's provided by Colty. I don't even remember what any of the funny videos are because it's day 3, but that's okay. Like I said, getting into our midlife break here. This is provided by Colty and is titled, "He Had to Run the Pain Away."
Get the bike! Why? I'm so sorry, sir.
No, is he okay?
He's all right.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. As long as he's okay.
Look at his face. Hold on. He hit the house so hard right where I paused it. Half of his face is white face right now. I didn't realize that when I watched it the first 6 times. Jesus loves us. That is fucking hilarious right there. Anyways, getting back into the news here. Jesus, racist kids on the screen. I didn't even know. He broke the forks off that bike. You know he was hurt and he had to run away. He had to just flee. Anyways, next up, hundreds wear pink in support of Lindsay Clancy outside of her trial. Again, that's the woman that strangled her 3 kids to death, including an 8-month-old. But no, she's great. Women love her and they think that she's awesome and her husband should just pay the price for what she did, because that's what those women think. Not all women, but those women. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble and become an official hooligan, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to open a browser, go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this pulled up. I can't wait for this trial to be over. So I'm tired of all these people defending this woman who admitted that she killed her kids. Just, it's unbelievable. Anyways, once again, hundreds of women wear pink in support of Lindsay Clancy outside of her trial.
I'm actually from Maine, and I organized the Stand in Peace for Lindsay event today at the Plymouth Superior Courthouse. I originally organized it because there was just one day in court that Lindsay was in shambles, and I couldn't stop thinking about her.
For people to start paying attention to mental health.
Yeah, we had hundreds of people here at the courthouse today, women and men dressed in pink in support of Lindsay and to raise awareness for postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, and mental health crisis all over the world.
It was wonderful to see so many women come together to support such a wonderful cause. And for me, being here is important because the Massachusetts system, healthcare system, failed Lindsay. She reached out for help multiple times. She told them that she was having thoughts of harming her children and harming herself, and she was turned away countless times at countless locations.
Certainly makes her feel good, makes her feel very good.
and very nice of all these people to take time and be here and, you know, share their personal. I think it's obviously very unusual, and I think it was very incredibly, just incredible. It's just amazing. I pulled in the parking lot. I couldn't believe it. It was very moving.
I don't know. Those people are crazy. They are real crazy. Let me see if I have one set. I've been telling you guys that these people are losing their minds. They think that it's okay to make videos about supporting her and all this stuff, even while holding their child. And I think I got a couple videos bookmarked, and we'll just watch one of them if I can find it. But these women are recording themselves screaming and crying and breaking stuff, and or holding on to a baby that's crying, and the caption will say like, "I understand," whatever her name is, Lindsay, like I understand your pain. And it's like, you're posting a video basically saying that you are tired of your kid. Like it's like you're implying that you're going to do this stuff. So here's one of the videos, and we're just gonna watch it really quick. I don't know, it's probably not even a minute long, but some douchebag posts this. The caption on the screen, if you can't read it, says "Same Lindsay," implying that she feels the same way as Lindsay did, because Lindsay had a really hard, you know, part of her life being a mother, and her husband's just a worthless piece of shit. It's all his fault. And so she understands why Lindsay killed her kids, and she's holding on to her baby saying this. So like I said, we're gonna run this video really quick, and we'll hop in the chat.
Does that say "Same Lindsay"?
So anyway, so like you can see in the clip there, she's like on the floor crying and doing all this stuff. But there's other videos too where there's a trend going on where these mothers are putting a camera like in the corner of their bathroom and screaming and crying towards the bathtub while throwing ice cubes, and you watch them explode everywhere. And they're saying this is a healthy way to release this feeling you have as a stressed mom that nobody seems to understand, is to scream and yell and blow up ice cubes in your bathroom because you feel so strongly about disliking your kids that this is much better than choking them until they die, which is fucking crazy. And I think anybody who posts videos like that should have their children taken away immediately, and they should have to prove that they are fit to get them back. Like, I don't even think it should be questioning if they should be taken. They should be taken first, and then try and prove that you deserve to have them back, because these mothers are crazy. Like I said, it's not all people, but these people supporting her, they have lost the plot. They are severely mentally ill, and I wholeheartedly believe that they are a threat to their children. It's going to be trendy to smoke your kids. I guess there's already been 2 copycats because of the trial going on. There's been 2 mothers that have smoked their kids, and they're like, oh, postpartum, whatever. And I don't know. I like that people are talking about it, and I like that people are separating, like, postpartum depression's a real thing. It's all real. Mental illness is real, and whatever. That doesn't mean you get to smoke your kids. It's not a justification for that, and those people are Looney Tunes. Anyways, next up, Tupac trial update. This witness is clashing with an attorney, and if you've never been to court, that's not what you want to do in court. It's coming up next. So first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Lindsay Clancy, whatever her name is, the mother that killed her kids, and these sympathizers that she has. Sup, Salty Ragu, happy freedom to you. Hair juicers save the videos and then bully the kids with them in 15 years. I think these mothers are going to end up losing their kids. That's what I think is going to happen. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but if I had a kid with somebody and they were out there making TikTok videos like that, I would be taking those videos to the court and be trying to get temporary full custody and be trying to, finagle some stuff, because that stuff's not okay. And like, if you question any of that, just think about if it was a man doing it. Just think if a man was in the bathroom blowing up ice cubes, screaming and yelling, and you go, what's wrong? Oh, I just hate my kids. It's hard being a dad. Like, nobody would think that's okay. People would be calling CPS and the cops immediately. Or even just the video that we did show, you know, a man sitting there crying, holding his baby, and it's like, same, Lindsay, same, you know, like, that would never be okay. It would never be okay. So I don't know. It's not good. Snooks, I think she's a piece of trash. Yeah, I don't know how somebody could smoke their kids. Salty Ragu, kids don't fear the boogeyman anymore. Now it's the fat crazy moms. Yeah, you're not wrong. It's worse than the boogeyman. What's up, Colty? Happy freedom to you. Deb, weak women. Yeah, absolutely. Salty Ragu, hitting the bong is way easier. Yeah, for real. That's what they need to do. They need to go sit down somewhere. Here, hit this and go sit down. Zero, they're trying to blame all the meds. Well, the doctor shopped and didn't tell them about the other ones. F her. Yeah, and there's a lot of kind of propaganda that they're spreading too. They're like, oh, the system failed Lindsay. It didn't, though. Like in the trial, they said that she went to get help. She did receive help. She came home and told her husband that nobody helped her, that she didn't get help that she needed. But in court, they said she went to programs, that she was in group therapy, that she got to talk to therapists and counselors, and all the help a person could ask for, she received it. But when she walked out of that room or out of that facility, she told everybody in the world, oh no, nobody would help me. They're screwing me around. I spent all day in the waiting room, blah, 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 lying to everybody. Then she went and got meds. She's on like 12 different kinds of medication. She didn't take them. She's prescribed them, and she didn't take the pills. And now she's sitting up there facing what she's facing, and all her supporters are in the comments saying, oh, the system failed her, nobody helped. She just needed help, and nobody helped her because she's a woman, and the world's made by men, and men hate women and mistreat women. So if men didn't exist, then Lindsay wouldn't have had to kill her kids. And it's like, what kind of logic is that? That is crazy. And they literally they've already proved in court. The trial's not even over yet. They've already proven she did receive help, and it didn't help. You can't help somebody that don't want help. You can't. You can provide all the help in the world, but if they don't want to help themselves, they're not going to receive it. She smoked her kids, and she thought she was going to throw herself out the window and call it a day. And now she's paralyzed, and she's about to face life in prison or whatever. It's like, I don't know. Russell, okay, she had issues, but she smoked her kids. Yeah. Sam, that's what that thing is called from Hellraiser, Chatterbox. Yeah, that's what Rosie O'Donnell looks like. Deb, snacks and juice boxes for everyone. Hell yeah. I'll check it out, Snooks. Thank you for letting me know. Zero, I don't know how my husband's mom did it. She had 8 kids and 1 adopted one. Yeah. When I was younger, there was 8 of us in the house. My mom took us all to Disney World and Universal Studio. I don't know if she had to pull a loan or what, because waitresses don't generally make money like that, but I don't know. Glad my mom didn't strangle me to death, though. Fuck. Me and my mom, we've gone to war with each other, especially when I was a teenager and I was a shithead. She never strangled me to death, though. Thank God. I didn't know that was something I was going to have to worry about till we got to this point. Man with a plan. That system puts all of us on the pharmaceutical carousel. If we're diagnosed, it's a sick cycle of drugging that never works. Yeah, absolutely. I talk about that all the time. That if you go to the doctor, you can walk away with a brand new label and a prescription to go along with it. It doesn't matter. I say this all the time too. I think everybody's got something wrong with them. Everybody's on the spectrum somewhere. Everybody's got a little something that ain't exactly a screw that isn't tightened all the way. It's just some of us are working on it and some of us aren't. Some of us are trying to cope with life with whatever our downfalls are, and other people are using it as an excuse, as a crutch, and stuff like that. And so once they realize they get special treatment, these specific kind of individuals, they go there, they get their label, they get their medication, they get special treatment that comes along with it. And once they get that special treatment, it becomes entitlement. And they go back for more labels and more medication. And they walk around like these liberals and stuff and start demanding special treatment. Let me just do whatever I want to do. And if you interfere, well then, you know, you're oppressing me one way or another. And it's not good. It is not good. It's the opposite of the American dream. Information warlord, she didn't have a job and she had a paid nanny to help with the kids. Yeah. It sounds like her life was sort of made. I mean, I understand everybody's got, you know, a hard time and stuff. Most people don't have a nanny though. They're not raising kids with a nanny or a husband that makes enough money for, you know, mom to stay home and stuff like that. So, you know, I think everybody's life's hard one way or another, but I don't think it's ever hard enough to where you're justified smoking your kids. Done. Just imagine a man in a dark corner with a caption that says, "Same, Chris Bennett." Is it Benoit? Is that what it is? I've seen that name pop up. I don't know who that is though. I probably shouldn't even read it out loud. But yeah, Dutton, there's a lot of people making those references. Like, what if it was a man doing that stuff? What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. The jury should set the death penalty. And I'm a mother of 3, and this is unexcusable. Yeah. And I don't think she's facing the death penalty. She might be. But I know she's trying to get insanity, and she'll be locked in a mental health facility forever, as far as I know. But it's that. She's either going to prison or she's going to a mental health facility. But I kind of think what she did was so bad that they should, you know, dirt her ass. But it's not up to me. The other thing is if you try to say anything to any of these wacko moms out there that are sympathizers of her, their one and only move is you're not watching the trial. They just assume if you don't agree with them that you don't know how to read right. You haven't seen any part of the trial. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know how to use Google. And it's just like the liberals when they're like, but Trump. Anytime you say anything bad about Biden or Hina Harris or whatever it may be in the world, you don't like the flavor of pizza today. But Trump, but the mean orange man. And they do the same thing. It's like, Lindsay's a wacko and she killed her kids. No, you're not watching the trial. Her husband did it. And then convinced her that she did it. That's why she admitted to it. Well, damn. He must be a hypnotist doing stuff like that. Done. Chris smoked his whole family. Yeah. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. Information warlord. Chris was a WWE wrestler who suffered from brain damage he received during wrestling career. Interesting. I will have to look into that. What's up, Nana Bear? Happy freedom to you. Salaragu, that's badass. Sam, the supreme kind. That's right. Russell, I have a mental health story. Remind me in voice chat. Let me write a reminder. Because otherwise I won't remember. Got my own mental health problems. I wrote a reminder, Russell. I'll remind you. Chica chops. Yeah, but I think mental institutions are a lot softer on those locked inside than a prison. And she's wheelchair bound. What's up, Distracted? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for the jewels over on the Goof Tube. Really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Let me see. Right mind. Wonder if the mothers in that crowd have felt like deleting their kids. Well, probably. I think that's the first step. I think that's the first step to sympathizing with this. So if they're on her side, I assume that they've had those thoughts before. Christine, I don't find any of her insults funny. I haven't laughed. You talking about Rosie O'Donnell? Yeah, she's not funny. She's just bitter. She's bitter. I see the bot now. Feeling froggy, joining us over on Kick. You're a badass. Cheeky Chops, you need to go check out Pilled. That's what bot was saying. All right, hooligans, moving forward here. Like I said, next up we got another follow-up on the Tupac trial. Now today they were playing some recordings and stuff, but I think the trial was still ongoing because the clips weren't capturing the whole story of what was going on. So tomorrow we might have another follow-up on this Tupac trial situation, because they're playing some sort of audio clips on some things that he admitted while he had immunity, and now they're saying decisions he made had dissolved the immunity, and so now things that he said in the recording, I guess, can be used against him. And it sounds like some weasel work to me, but we'll worry about that tomorrow. Today, on the update for the Tupac trial, this witness clashes with the attorney, which is not what you want to do when you're in court. Hit that like button. Let's get into this.
Can you tell me what the difference between a gang member and a gangbanger is?
A gang member hangs out. A gangbanger handles his business, put in work, do what the gang do.
And what was your role with Death Row?
I was the guy that, if something happened, would have you take care of that. Like Snoop Dogg trial, there was issues up there. I was sent up there to make sure those problems didn't happen again.
And are those problems, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics, but are those problems meaning issues with other people who might be gangbanging or might be trying to threaten folks, that type of thing?
Correct, yes.
And you are somebody that Suge relied on to be able to protect his roster of music artists and other things like that.
Correct.
And after you were asked to help out with Snoop, did Snoop have any other problems?
No, we didn't have one issue at court.
Now, I'm going to ask you, fast forward a little bit, to, were you familiar with the Southside Compton Crips?
Yes.
Would you say they were somebody you were in alliance with or a rivalry with?
Rival.
Okay, just one final question. You're here today, and I think the state had asked this question under a subpoena. You're ordered to be here today, right?
Yes.
In terms of that subpoena, for instance, is that's the only reason why you're here is because of that subpoena?
I don't have no other reason to be here.
Yeah. In order for you to get that subpoena, you were served that subpoena back in California?
Yes.
By a police officer?
I don't know. He was in uniform.
Okay. And that order required you to go to a court in California?
I had to go to court in Victorville.
And then that court in California said you have to show up here.
And in that court, I cussed them out and told them, you can't make me do nothing.
Right.
And in that court, they told me that I would be in attempted court. Me raising my grandkids, I'm not going to put my grandkids in the car and move somewhere so y'all can't find me. So all that running and living a different life, I ain't doing it. So I agreed to come. And like I explained to everybody in here, you ask me something I'm going to be honest about. You ask me something I don't want to talk about, you're going to have a problem. Treat me as a hostile witness. You're not going to talk to me and tell me as a grown man what I have to do up here. I'm not going to send him to prison. You are.
So the accusation now is because of the fact that we're trying to ask you questions, you're blaming it on me.
You asking me questions. If I just answer your questions, we gonna have a problem in here, a misunderstanding, and you're asking me something that wouldn't be good for him.
Right.
Okay. Again, he's just up there sounding like a dumbass. Stupid. I don't think he helped anything doing that. Either way, this witness is testifying and admits to being biased as he starts acting ignorant and clashes with the attorney, saying that we're going to have a problem during cross-examination, declaring that he was testifying under court order and did not want to send the defendant to prison, later apologizing in the courthouse lobby for letting the testimony become personal. He was actually called to testify by the prosecution, but I'm sure his whole testimony got thrown out the window once he said, first he said that he had considered fleeing. And he didn't say it that way, but he was like, well, I didn't run and have to start a new life and move my whole family, and all these details of, admitting that he had considered running instead of testifying, that doesn't look good. And then he completely admits that he's not willing to say anything that could be used to put what's his face in prison, right? The person that they're accusing of all of this. But like I said, I think they're in trial. Well, they're probably not in trial anymore. It's 6:30 now, but they're in trial again today. So I think tomorrow we're gonna have another update about this whole trial situation. Pulling today's clip, I figured we didn't need to add too much more to the schedule, considering there's already 16 videos on the lineup. So like I said, we'll have another follow-up tomorrow because there's some recordings and stuff that came out today. Anyways, next up, Judge JeffMAC recused from next steps of Karmelo Anthony's trial. We got a doubly on Karmelo Anthony. Now, we already know that he was sentenced to go to prison and all of that, but he wanted a retrial, right? Racism and all the other things that they were talking about. So we knew that they were going to try for a new trial. And the first step was they got the judge recused. So the judge that he had before can no longer be a part of his case. And like I was saying, this is a doubly. That's the first video. Second video, new details. Troubling background reveals Karmelo Anthony's retrial hearing. So they were supposed to have a hearing to decide, are they going to have a new trial? And they didn't exactly come to the conclusion of that yet. And as far as I know, there hasn't been any new ground gained in that direction. But what they have done is they've released background information. I think they're supposed to have background information about both parties, but so far they've only released background information on Austin Metcalf, which is the victim, the kid that was stabbed. Now they're trying to paint him, basically this whole second video is them trying to tell the world that he was a racist, bad person. And I mean, I don't know if they're trying to say, like, justify what happened to him, but they're trying to make it seem like he's not as innocent as people originally thought, which is kind of disgusting because he was stabbed to death at a school event. But you know how they are spinning things. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this follow-up for the Tupac trial. Also, I'm keeping my eyes on the clock. In 22 minutes, President Trump is supposed to be on stage live in Myrtle Beach. We are going to cover it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a part of Coffee with Hooligans or a separate live, but it looks like we will be in time to show it during this live without having to restart. So I'm keeping my eye on the clock. Plus, President Trump's always late, so I think the time's going to work out. Either way, hop into the chat. Russell, I want to see him kick the lawyer's ass. Nah, that was the prosecutor he's talking to. He'd have been in a situation. Snooksy's being honest. Yeah, courtroom's no place for honesty, though. Not if you want to leave there free. Because it's not about justice. It's about semantics. It's about words and money. So he needs to just shut his mouth. Yeah. Yeah, he should have. I mean, I don't know. I can't give legal advice, but anytime I've had to deal with that shit, you're supposed to be honest, but you're also supposed to only say what actually matters. Saying more than what you're being asked is only incriminating yourself. Thank you so much, Wrench, for gifting the subs over on Rumble. You're badass, Wrench. Thank you so much for making more hooligans. Hell yeah. What's up, King of Biltong? Happy freedom to you. Done. Just say what they want to hear unless it's a lie. Yeah, you don't want to lie. You just don't want to tell all the damn truth in your head. Because all they're looking is a reason to put you in jail. It's their whole job. What's up, Salty Grower? Happy freedom to you. You gotta get those likes up, hooligans. Salty Grower, appreciate you being omnipresent. You're a badass. All you could eat. He may be a hostile witness. I don't know why he said that either, because I think there's consequences to that. I don't know. He was just talking too much. All you could eat. He fixed things. Yeah. Seeing like that, I don't know why he was saying that. Yeah, I used to tune people up for the gang. Like, nah, don't tell people that. Don't do that. Colty, never volunteer information. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Thank you so much, King of Biltong, for giving a sub over on Rumble. Appreciate you, King of Biltong. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for making more hooligans. Salty Girl, you're official now? Hell yeah. Christine, mental illness doesn't give you the right to take a life. Yep, you're absolutely right. Just because you got problems doesn't mean you get to give other people problems. And that's unfortunately what happens in a lot of these videos we cover is they go and kill somebody or do something bad, and then they're like, oh, well, the mental illness. Yeah, that's great that they got mental illness. That doesn't mean it's somebody else's problem. Right, mind? Take the fifth like Fauci did? Yeah, that guy could have. He could have pled the fifth. But instead, he was like, no, I didn't want to pack up my family and run and be on the run and looking over my shoulder. It's like, you didn't have to say any of that. You didn't have to say any of that. Feeling froggy, you should just plead the fifth. Yeah. 5. You just did all that. Salty Ragu showing off your new girlfriend. Very nice. Very nice. She looks familiar, Salty Ragu. You picked a good one. She just need a little hooligan in her life. For about 3 minutes every day. Anyways, moving forward here, like I said, we got a doubly on Karmelo Anthony. Which I wondered if this was going to happen. It'll be really interesting to see if he actually gets a new trial. I don't know. Either way, this one, like I said, this is a doubly. It's the first of the doubly. It's titled Judge JeffMAC Recused from Next Steps of Karmelo Anthony's Trial. Let's get those likes up and let's get into this.
Karmelo Anthony's defense team won their appeal Wednesday morning to recuse the judge who oversaw his murder trial earlier this year. Now, to take a step back, Collin County Judge John Roach Jr. presided over Karmelo's trial in June when he was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf. Just weeks after, a brand new team of appellate attorneys filed 2 motions on Karmelo's behalf, one for the recusal and one for a new trial. The recusal was based largely on public statements that Roach made after sentencing to reporters, in which he said he believed the trial was fair and that the jury got it right. An administrative judge from San Antonio was called in to preside over this morning's hearing and said that while he personally believes that Roach could oversee the motion for a new trial fairly, the real test is whether a third party would agree. So from that point of view, he granted the recusal. The hearing for a new trial starts here in McKinney tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. It's currently unclear who the judge will be for that hearing, but we'll keep you updated at the Dallas Morning News.
Okay, so like I said, we got a doubly here. They're just saying in that video, the judge has been recused. Now the hearing tomorrow, which was yesterday, they're supposed to be seeing if there's going to be a new trial for Karmelo Anthony. When I looked it up, it said the visiting judge, Sid Harley, or Harl, was granted the recusal, or no, did grant the I can't even say it now, recusal, ruling that a reasonable observer might question the judge's impartiality due to post-verdict comments and courtroom restrictions. So they're trying to say that he was biased and the trial wasn't fair, basically. We're going to get right into this next one. More of this Karmelo Anthony situation. So when I put this on the schedule yesterday, I was assuming that we were going to find information on whether or not he was getting a new trial. But that's not what this is about. This is about releasing... This is a smear campaign. That's what it is they're trying to paint the victim in the situation, the victim of the stabbing, as a bad, racist person. Now, they're not saying, like, yeah, the world's better without him. But they are kind of leaning in that direction, which is disgusting. He was stabbed and killed at a school event, which is a place where kids are supposed to be safe. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't, and let's get into this.
Both prosecutors and the defense in this case presented their case using a motion for a new trial hearing to expose the violent backgrounds of both Anthony and Austin Metcalf.
JD Miles has been in the courtroom all day, and he joins us now live with the latest. JD, there is a lot to unpack here.
There was a private off-the-record agreement between attorneys for Karmelo Anthony and prosecutors to keep the sordid backgrounds of the killer and the victim out of the ear of the jury and the public, to focus solely on the murder trial and what happened under that tent at the Frisco High School track meet last year. But now there's in this motion for a new trial, the background reports are being released, and the defense is going first, releasing 20 pages now of Austin Metcalf's behavioral history. Karmelo Anthony was dressed in a suit and tie for this morning's hearing, which began with the defense arguing that efforts by the trial judge and prosecutors to combat threats and deal with disruptions actually prevented Anthony from getting an open and fair trial. But bombshell testimony came this afternoon from Anthony's trial attorney, Mike Howard, about Austin Metcalf's background report that was never presented to the jury. CBS News Texas has also learned new details about Austin Metcalf's background. Metcalf and his brother Hunter were once caught spray painting graffiti, including KKK Kill All Blacks and Heil Hitler, along with the N-word, and were sentenced to 12 months of juvenile probation. Records reveal they reportedly told authorities, "We did some dumb stuff. We did some vandalism." There are several documented instances of Austin using racial slurs in school, and in 2023, Austin was accused of bullying a black student in class. In 2018, while still in elementary school, Austin and his brother were accused of bullying and assaulting a female, which led to his arrest. During an argument in 2024 with another female student, Austin allegedly knocked her to the ground and punched her in the stomach. He was also kicked out of a football game and texted someone later, "I was about to beat the expletive out of those kids." At a previous track meet, when another student alerted Austin that someone not on their team, quote, "behind our bench was talking wild," Austin reportedly replied, "Kill that MF." During the 2023-2024 school year, he received in-school suspension twice. School disciplinary records from April 2022 to May 2024 reveal that Austin reportedly called a teacher the B word and used profanity. He told a school official that he couldn't control it and wasn't aware that it was coming out of his mouth. In 2024, on at least 5 occasions, Austin saw a counselor regarding his anger and rage during a football game. In 2021, he got banned from attending basketball games for a season after yelling profanity at a player. Metcalf also got suspended after he and another student were talking about bringing a gun to school the following day.
Well, we understand that prosecutors, meanwhile, they do have a 75-page character dossier on Karmelo Anthony, which they promised to present as well. That document shows that on the morning of the stabbing, Anthony sent out a text saying that he was, quote, low-key on the verge, and that his girlfriend went to their school principal to complain that he had been stalking her because she broke up with him. Of course, we'll keep you posted on all of those developments, and we will continue to follow this hearing very closely for updates.
Okay. So like I said, whole smear campaign there. I think it's unnecessary. I don't know why they did that. There's not enough talking in the world that could justify him being stabbed and killed at a school event. There's just not. Did he hurt you? No. Okay then. That's it. That's the whole argument. It doesn't matter what he did in the past. It doesn't matter that he said bad things or he got arrested for graffiti, or none of that matters. He's the victim in the situation. And they're like, by the way, we also think he's a terrible person. Fuck you people. like all day long. He didn't do anything to justify that kind of retaliation, and they're just like, by the way, he was a racist and a bad person. No. That shit does not matter in the context of being stabbed to death. That's just salt in the wound there. Anyways, new records of behavioral history have been released where they claim that Austin was a racist and had bad behavior, including being arrested for vandalism. So he must have deserved what happened to him because he said mean words, right? Hate speech is free speech, and that's what backs the whole thing up. Hate speech is free speech. So he was using free speech. He did vandalize something, which is illegal. He was arrested for it. Okay. So he used his free speech and he was held accountable for dumb actions. Cool. But then you stabbed him to death. How are these things connected? They're not. They're not. It's just... This does not make him look better in my opinion, but that's okay. You know, it's not up to me. Anyways, next up, Albany I think I said Alberta earlier. I don't know. Anyways, Albany, woman accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired attack at the New York Capitol. She's a dumb piece of shit. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this doubly, all related to Karmelo Anthony. Russell, we only bully people named Jeff. Well, when I was a kid, all I did was get bullied, so I believe you, Russell. I believe the shit out of you. Yep. Tin Man, my name is Jeff. Snooks. And so that makes it okay for Austin to be knifed and killed. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's what they're trying to say, but I don't know why. They're like, okay, we can't make Karmelo seem innocent because of how innocent Austin looks. So let's dull his shine a little bit, and then maybe we can prop up Karmelo Anthony to look like we're gonna win this. And it's like, I don't know what they're thinking, but I just don't think that this helps their case. I think it just makes them look worse, really. Colty's news station should have their license revoked for posting this. Should be getting sued for that. That was terrible. Well, they were just reporting on what they put out in court, like because it was during a hearing where they released this. So, I mean, I agree. I think the whole situation is horrible. I don't necessarily blame the news, although the news lies, spins, and withholds information to dictate the way you receive it. But the information was actually released by Karmelo's team because he's being represented by the Ben Crump Foundation and like 3 or 4 other attorneys that are all race-based activist kind of attorneys, famous names that we've covered over and over again. So they're going to do all kinds of theatrics and stuff, you know, like what they did with the judge, right? They pulled the judge off the case. They didn't even have to do that. They just chose to do that. They're just trying to see what all levers they can throw to try and move it into a position where he might actually get a better turnout. Now, I don't think he can. I mean, they must have, you know, some sort of strategy up their sleeve. Otherwise, they wouldn't take the case. I can't imagine that he's going to get a better deal than what he's got. But, you know, we'll be covering it. Trickster, he was stalking his ex-girlfriend that day, and she reported it. See, and I wonder if they're going to say that, because at the end of the video we just covered, they were saying that that was Austin's bio background release deal, and they're going to put out one for Karmelo Anthony also. Now they're going to say that he was, you know, gangbanging piece of shit out there doing drugs and being an asshole. Probably not, right? Probably not. They're going to say he was great. He was a spelling bee champion. His siblings love him so much. You know, they're probably going to say stuff like that. But like I said, I don't think any of this stuff actually helps his case at all. I think they're just trying to see what kind of wiggle room they got. Colty, what a smear. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is I think that's going to kind of blow back in their face. I don't think people are going to hear that information and then go, oh, maybe Austin did deserve to be stabbed to death. I don't know if that's what they thought the public was going to hear and react, but I don't think so. I think what most people are going to, when they hear that, is they're going to be like, fuck that guy. And that's what I think they're going to hear, because they just see a victim get stabbed and now being smeared how many ever months later. And I think that's it, top to bottom. I don't know what their strategy was, but I think it's backfiring. Remember the plan? Hope he gets the death sentence. We'll see. Nana Bear, he can't what? All you could do is get a plea deal. Well, I don't know if they're going for innocent or what. I can't even remember what he was originally going for. Self-defense. And maybe they're still trying to prove self-defense. Maybe that's what it is. They're like, well, you guys think he's innocent, but he's actually a mean racist. And so Karmelo Anthony was in fear of his life because this really mean known racist was going to get him at the track meet. And so he was in fear for his life. Like, maybe that's the angle they're pulling, but I still don't think it's... I don't think they got a leg to stand on with this. All you could eat. because it's happening in Austin, it may work. Is it really liberal there? I know there's a couple places in Texas where the liberals moved from California and they're bluing up the state a little bit. Here, just got a taco bar at work. Are they gonna make you guys work overtime? That seems pretty nice of them. I hope there's no strings attached. Oh, I'll check it at Snooks. I haven't got that far yet. Ranch, how come? Why not fight him instead of stabbing him? Yeah, it's true. What's up, Wendy Wild? Happy freedom to you. I'm doing all right. How are you doing? All you can eat, it's a shithole. Yeah. So lefties come to town. You know, that's how it goes. Nana Barry's gonna do his 35 years. Do you think he's not gonna get a new trial? He might not get a new trial. He might just be stuck doing his 30-something years. I love you, Hill. You're funny as hell. Funny as hell. I bet you do. That's so funny. That's funny. Kevin, I don't know. If someone did that to my brother, he wouldn't be making it to court. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is Austin's got a twin brother, and he graduated high school. And so during the graduation ceremony, they called Austin's name too because he was going to graduate, and his brother went and accepted his diploma on his behalf. It's crazy. He's a better person than me because, yeah, they'd have struck down my twin brother that I don't actually have. But if I did, no. There'd be consequences. Damon Walker, it's all about timing just before the primary midterm. Yeah, and I didn't even think about it like that. So it definitely spices things up for the midterm. Anytime it's time to vote, the world gets crazy. Dancing, you think the world's better without Austin in it? Why? What did Austin do? You think it's better to have somebody that murders other people at school events than it is to have Austin because he says bad words? You're more scared of words than being stabbed at a school event? That's funny. I heart you, Hill. Everyone from Cali moved to Austin, Houston, and Dallas. Yeah. I've been hearing that for a couple of years now. Same thing as I think Kentucky and Tennessee is getting a little bit of that too. I think people are moving from New York down there. Dancing's scared of words. That's why they're on YouTube. The word police. Those big scary words, they'll get me. Well, hopefully nobody uses a knife against you because your words aren't going to do shit. Snooks. Yeah, I got him. Thank you. Heard you, sir. Yeah, they called Austin's name during the graduation ceremony. It was intentional, though. I don't think anybody was surprised when Austin's name was called, but yeah, his brother went up there and accepted his diploma on his behalf, and the school made a big deal about it, like in a positive way. It wasn't controversial. It was, I don't know. It was like a memorial kind of thing. Anyways, moving forward here. Like I said, next up, Albany woman accused of plotting ISIS-inspired attack at the New York Capitol. This is another piece of shit. She actually did less damage than Karmelo Anthony, but that's okay. She was a terrorist sympathizer. We don't have room for that in our country. Hit that like button. Let's get into this.
7, we're back with the breaking news we've been following all afternoon. A woman from Albany accused of plotting to bomb the New York State Capitol in Albany in support of ISIS.
Federal agents say the FBI stopped the alleged attack before it could be carried out. News Channel 13 reporter Zach Richter joins us live outside the state capitol this afternoon. Zach, what are you learning?
Mark and Sabrina, well, local law enforcement here was able to track down the 35-year-old woman from Albany and arrest her before she could carry out her plot here to allegedly bomb the state capitol. Here's a look at her. It's 35-year-old Jessica Bowie from Albany. She's accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired terror plot to kill New York State senators at the New York State Capitol. Bowie was taken into custody on Sherman Avenue in Albany yesterday and was arraigned this afternoon at the U.S. federal courthouse in Albany. Images from the Department of Justice show Bowie at a local store buying materials to create a bomb. Investigators say she converted to Islam recently and become much more radical in the past 5 months, even at one point collecting stickers of the fallen Twin Towers, appearing to praise the 9/11 attacks. Earlier, First Assistant U.S. Attorney John Sarcone at a press conference spoke about Jessica Bowie's alleged plan and the disturbing allegations here.
Allegations in this complaint are deeply disturbing. That someone would harbor such hatred toward our way of life and seek to target the New York State Capitol and New York State senators, that's an attack on democracy itself.
Investigators say Bowie was in touch with people from ISIS by social media apps. Now, after arraignment this afternoon, she was remanded to the custody of the U.S. Marshals, where she awaits her next court appearance. We're live in Albany. Zach Richter, News Channel 13.
Okay. Terrorist sympathizer. She's gonna get shit hardcore. For sure. Let me get this pulled up. So it is 7 o'clock. President Trump is supposed to be on stage 2 minutes ago, but he's usually a little bit late. So we're going to run this in the background until he gets on stage, and then, of course, we'll cover the Trump rally, and then we'll move forward after that. But until then, we're going to just keep moving forward here. Still quite a bit of news left. Either way, they're saying a 35-year-old woman from Albany, New York, was arrested for allegedly plotting an ISIS-inspired bombing at the New York State Capitol. Federal authorities charged her with attempting to provide material to support a designated foreign terrorist organization. She converted to Islam 5 years ago and pledged allegiance to ISIS. She allegedly conducted surveillance at the Capitol at least 5 times and communicated with undercover FBI informants posing as ISIS facilitators to obtain help building an explosive device. The complaint states that she intended to disguise a bomb as a food delivery package, specifically mentioning DoorDash, to infiltrate the building, smoke senators. She also allegedly expressed intentions to flee to Syria and carry out future attacks. She faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison and $250,000 in fines. Now, I think she should be facing life for sympathizing with terrorists and trying to carry out a plot, build an explosive device and all that. I think she should be facing life for that, because what's to say she's not going to get out in 20 years? She's already been Islam for 5, right? That's a quarter of 20 years. What's saying that she ain't going to do the 20, get out, and then do a strike then? She's sympathizing. She is a threat. So I don't know. We'll see what happens to her. Either way, like I said, we're waiting for President Trump, but if he decides to take his time, next up, Philly police identified Chucky mask suspect. This is obviously a follow-up to the asshole that was wearing a supposed, what they're calling a Chucky mask, terrorizing people. We covered a video. He was chasing some person jogging. He also was harassing 6 other individuals. But they know who he is. It's coming up next, unless President Trump walks on stage. But right now, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about this ISIS sympathizer. Ghostly, are all terror attack the FBI? I see the pattern. Yeah, I don't know. It makes me think of the dark web. You hear about the dark web. You hear you can buy rocket launchers and drugs and snuff films and all this crap on the dark web. But then when you hear actual stories of people using the dark web, they're just getting busted by Fed boys. Like all the websites and stuff you can access through the dark web is like ran by Fed boys as bait to try and catch people doing bad things. And I think this whole sympathizing with terrorists, I think it's the same thing. You probably cannot contact anybody actually affiliated with terrorism. If you try, all you're going to do is find Fed boys, which is fine with me. I prefer if people didn't look for that kind of connection. But, I think that's the reality of it, is they're trying to make contact, and all they're doing is contacting Fed boys. Russell, am I a terrorist of the bathroom? Because I blew it up. It happens, Russell. It happens. It's like Klaus Daniels. What's up, Patriot Dad? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Day9? Happy freedom to you. Oh, I didn't know you guys could actually hear that video. My bad. My bad. I didn't know I was talking over that guy. Cheeky Chops, you like my tits? Well, thanks, Cheeky Chops. They couldn't make me a woman. I like your little your little pudgy front end there, and be like, oh well, thanks. There's the Orange Eagle. Moving over to the live screen here. So next up, after President Trump, we still got 2 bits of the news and lefties losing it, and then of course we'll be getting into the fun stuff. Of course, we got this Trump rally to cover. Now, if you don't know, President Trump, he's in Myrtle Beach right now. I don't know if he's going for a swim after this or not. Kind of thought he was going to show up with shorts. Maybe one of those Hawaiian t-shirts he'd have been styling. You know he's sweating in that suit. I'd be just dying. They couldn't make me president because they'd be like, he's sure sweating a lot. I think something's up. Hopefully he's not sick. And really, I just sweat hard. So hard. It's a Vaz. Happy freedom to you. What's up, Freddy the Texan? Happy freedom to you. You hooligans, make sure you get those likes up and share out the live so everyone can hear from the Orange Eagle. What's up, Guessum? Happy freedom to you. Dark web equals world star. I mean, more or less. Meow meow, you better go sit down. The president's about to speak. Meow meow. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. Yeah, you good baby. What time is it? You got time. What's up, Ghostly? Happy freedom to you. Russell Jeff's got nice double D tits. That's right. They're heavy too. Groom myself. Colty, shower time? Cold shower time. I don't know. You guys are cracking me up. President Trump looks like he's vibing to the beats. All right, here we go.
Thank you. And I want to say a very special hello to Myrtle Beach, the home of 90 great golf courses. We're going to bring get everybody down to play golf. We're going to get them all. Everybody come on down and play golf here. Let them make a lot of money. Now you have great everything down here, but you're known for incredible golf courses, and so I want everyone to come down and use them, and I want you to make a lot of money when they do. And I'll make you a deal that if Darlene wins, I'll come down and play the best golfer in Myrtle Beach in a match. I will see who wins. I will play the best golfer down here. At least if they're not on the tour. If they're on the tour, forget it. And I want to say a very, very special hello to the great state of South Carolina, because I won this state with the highest vote count ever in the history of the state, all 3 times. But Henry McMaster, I have to say, did very well also. Where's Henry? There he is. He did very well. He's been with me from day one, right, Henry? And I want to just let you know I'm thrilled to be back with thousands of hardworking, God-fearing, true, unbelievable American patriots. That's where you are, front row Joe. We have front row Joes all over the place. We have the ladies from North Carolina. That's okay, right over there. They've been to 252 rallies. I can't believe it. I don't know how their husband puts up with it. They have these nice husbands. but I don't see them with you tonight. Thank you very much. It's been an honor. We've had a roll from 2016, right? From 2016, so many rallies, and we love them, and we love our front row Joes. They always get front row. I don't know how they do it. And I want to say hello to a very special person that's with us tonight, Darlene. Because Darlene is somebody I've known for a long time. I asked her to do this. I said, Darlene, you got to do it. Because everyone loves her, everyone respects her. I've known her through Lindsay. I've known her for a long time. I think Lindsay respected Darlene more than any other person he knows, including me. That does not make me happy. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that, but one of those things. But with your help this November, we're going to stop the radical left Democrat communists here in South Carolina and all across the nation. And we're going to elect Senator Darlene Graham to fight for South Carolina and to always put America first. She only knows how to put America first. She will be somebody you're going to be very proud. You vote for her, you're going to be very proud of that vote. The first step is winning the runoff election this Tuesday. You have to get out August 25th. You have to get out and vote. And we need every South Carolina patriot to go to the polls and vote for Darlene Graham, if you would. And the polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So on Tuesday, get out and vote. You got to get out to find your polling place. SwampTheVoteUSA.com. SwampTheVoteUSA.com. They have all the information if you need it. Most of you don't. But I'm in a very good mood tonight. I didn't mention this to Darlene because today we just learned that the big decision of the United States Supreme Court came down and the military/ballroom, this beautiful, magnificent complex, being built on the hallowed grounds of our cherished White House, which is so vital for national security, it's going to be the greatest of its kind anywhere that's ever been built. And it's something that presidents have wanted to be built for over 150 years. You know, we have a tiny little room right now. It's been that way for years. It's called the East Room, and it seats 88 people. And as an example, in 2 weeks, President Xi of China is coming. And I wish we had a ballroom, but in a very short period of time, in a year from now, you'll have one of the greatest anywhere in the world. And the military is being taken care of because of the military component for drones and for missiles and for bulletproof glass and for all of the things that you've needed. The military's wanted this done for 100 years, and presidents have wanted it done for 150 years. So I just want to thank the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, and we have a ruling that it's proceed. When they say proceed, I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Nothing's easy today. And our construction is under budget and ahead of schedule. I always build under budget and ahead of schedule. And we build more beautiful than anybody else. And we're going to get that highway built for you, too, by the way. We're going to get that built. It's all ready to be funded. It's coming out of Washington. And it's coming out of Washington, and it's all ready to be finalized and funded. And I have to tell you, Russell Fry has been fantastic in getting it done. He's been great. And Russell Fry endorsed Darlene. Where is Russell? Are you here, Russell? Stand up, Russell. He's been my friend from day one. People ask me, who's the best one to run for a certain seat? Because we've won this place in such crowds and such numbers. But they say, who would be the best to replace a certain gentleman who wasn't very good? And everybody said, there's a young man named Russell Fry, right, Russell? And I put you up. And it was like magic. I hope we have the same result with Darlene, and I think we will. But Russell has been so fantastic, and we're going to get your tremendous roadway project done. It's all funded. It's all ready to go, okay? And thank you for all that support in every way. And with your support and Darlene fighting to go with South Carolina in the Senate, we're going to make sure that she gets there. We will continue to make America safer, stronger, and wealthier than ever before. We're going to make America greater than ever before, and we brought it to a level that it's never seen before. So less than 2 years ago, Sleepy Joe Biden, have you heard of him? And the radical left Democrats handed us a complete and total affordability and security disaster. Remember affordability? I got in. We won by a lot in a landslide. We won everything. We won everything. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won the counties, 87% of the counties in the country. Nobody's ever done that before. We won by a lot, but I got in. I had my first press conference. Look at all those press back there. I had my first press conference, and they started screaming the word affordability. I said, I've only been here for 1 day. And they started screaming about, front row Joes know this, about eggs. Egg prices were up 4 or 5 times higher than they were a year before. And I said, I just got here. I'm here 1 day. And I got eggs down to lower there than when they were in my first term, and they were low. And other things are coming down. And beef is now coming down very rapidly. You see that? And as soon as we're finished with the Islamic Republic of Iran, as soon as we're finished, oil is going to be down at lower than it was even just a little while ago. We had it down to, for your cars, we had it down to 100. Think of this. I went to Iowa, love Iowa, and one gas station had it at $1.95 a gallon, and another one had it at $1.85. And then I went to meet with my people back in the White House the following day. I was in Iowa to make a speech. I left, I went, and I said, you know, I hate to do this to you because the country was booming. By the way, the stock market is much higher now than it was then, but, you know, and your 401ks are much higher now than it was then. But with all the good news, I said, I hate to do this, but we're going to have to take a little detour down to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we're going to have to put out the nuclear weapons stuff because they're going to have a nuclear weapon, and we cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, or you'll see some very bad things. So we went down and we stopped them. They'll never have a nuclear weapon. They want to make a deal so badly. We don't even know if we want, because I view the Strait of Hormuz as an American territory right now. It's an American territory. But Biden created the worst inflation in 48 years, the worst trade deficit in world history, and open borders allowing millions and millions of people to pour in from all over the globe, including from prisons and jails. They came from prisons and jails from other countries, from mental institutions and insane asylums, from drug dealers, and 11,888 murderers, stone-cold murderers, most of whom killed more than one person. These people are allowed to flow into our country. Murderers, think of it. They emptied their jails, including Venezuela. I now love Venezuela. We're making billions and billions of dollars from Venezuela. We're getting along great with Venezuela. That was, by the way, nobody likes to talk about that. That was 1 day. 1 day. Everybody said, oh, it's going to be long. It was 1 day. And actually, in a certain way, a little different, but certain way, we're doing equally as well with Iran. The fake news just doesn't want to report it that way. But they are now coming around because there's not much they can say. When a country doesn't have any longer a Navy, an Air Force, radar, technical equipment, manufacturing, their leaders are gone. Their second set of leaders are gone. Parts of their third set of the leaders are gone. In fact, it's actually one of my biggest problems. I don't know who the hell to deal with. It's a problem. It's the only country in the world where nobody wants to be president. They say, who wants to be president? No, I don't want to be president. So it's a little bit of a problem. They gave us this is Biden. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. They gave us the transgender mutilization of your children. They gave us men playing in women's sports. Doesn't work. My wife hates when I do that. She says it's so unpresidential, darling. I said, I won in a landslide. No, she said she doesn't like when I do the swimming routine or the weightlifting routine. I said, darling, I won in a landslide. It's okay. And she hates when I dance to that great, to the gay national anthem. That's what it is. It's called the gay national anthem. You know, I got the highest gay vote in the history of politics for a Republican, and I played the gay national anthem. So, you know, what can I tell you? I'll take it. We're going to take it. We got the highest of everything. But men playing in women's sports, they gave us open borders. Anybody could come in. The whole world was laughing at us. They were laughing at us like we were a bunch of dumb fools. But they're not laughing anymore. They don't laugh at us anymore. And starting the day that I took the oath of office, we ended the migrant invasion of our country. It was an invasion, just like an army. We sealed our borders shut and began sending vicious illegal alien criminals back home, and we've got a lot of them out of here, and the rest are going very rapidly. We imposed historic tariffs on foreign goods. The tariffs were making a fortune with tariffs. And what it's really doing, even more than that, all these companies are now coming and building in the United States. $19.2 trillion is being invested right now in the United States, more than any country at any time by many, many times. You know, I said for years, I've said it, because other countries are doing it to us, but nobody can do it like we're doing it. But I said the other day, and I said it many times, and you've heard it many, many times, I said, tariffs is my all-time favorite word. I love tariffs. I love the word. It's made us rich as hell. But it's really brought, you know why? Because if a country is sending, let's say, a car in here, I say, you got to pay 25% tariff. They say, well, we can't do that. I said, that's okay. You don't have to do it. Come over here and build your cars in the United States. And that's what they're doing in South Carolina. You have record manufacturing and auto plants being built right now in the United States, and in South Carolina, you're doing great. I said, that's okay. You just come in and build your product here, whether it's a car or anything else. And we've never had anything like it. You know, we went 40 years without building a car factory. And now we're building more car plants and factories than we ever have in the history of our country. Can you believe it? But I said, Darlene, I said, my favorite word is tariff. And those people back there, the fake news, they killed me. They went after me. No, they went after me. They said tariff is his favorite word. What about God? What about religion? What about your wife, your children? What about family? So I made tariff my fifth favorite, and now I have no problem with the media. I have no problem anymore with the media. Tariff is my fifth favorite word. And last month, inflation dropped at the fastest rate in many years, and more Americans are working today than at any point in the history of our country, right now, today. And you haven't seen anything yet because they're working today, but the factories are being built. So the construction jobs are through the roof because they're building all of these plants, factories, hundreds of them all over the country, thousands of them. Except for the fake polls out there, my poll numbers are great. No, they have such fake polls. So we have the greatest economy in our history. Now, some people haven't seen it yet, but they will because the job numbers are so good. They will. But we have the greatest poll numbers that I've ever had. We have the greatest economy that I've ever had. We had one of the greatest economies in history in my first term. This is blowing it away. But then I'll see a poll, and they'll say, Trump is at 44% on the economy. How can it be at 44? We have more people working now than ever before, and I'm at 44%. No, I'm at 30 points. Maybe I should be at 100% on the economy, but you're going to see it in a short period of time. And the prices are all coming down. John McLaughlin, the great pollster, he's one of the greats, just told me that if you ran today, nobody could come close to you. Nobody would be within 20 points. I believe that's right. Likewise, a great Tony Fabrizio, a great pollster, he said the same thing. He said nobody could come close to beating you. Unfortunately, we have a little rule and regulation that says you're not allowed to run. If they'd like to change that, I'll be very happy. But look at the rallies. Look at what we have today. You have thousands of people standing outside, can't get in. They're standing outside, and we're not even really running. But we are running because we have to get Darlene and other people elected. So we are running. And the problem that we have is they say that Trump does great when he's on the ballot, but when he's not on the ballot, his people don't come and they don't vote for senators, congressmen, and other Republicans. And that these people, they're running, they're great, but if Trump isn't actually on the ballot. So what I really want you to do is pretend, please, that I'm on the ballot. Just come and vote. It's so important. So just say that I'm on the ballot. One more time, you got to say it, and you got to come out and vote. Because if we lose, you're going to lose your border. You're going to lose your tax cuts. You're going to lose everything that we've done. We've gotten the biggest tax cuts in history. Think about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security for our seniors, no tax on overtime. All of that's going to be gone. Your taxes are going to go up. Your pay is going to go down. Your jobs are going to be lost. They're going to end up closing up. Your businesses are going to flee just like they did years ago. They're going to flee our country. I'm going to be impeached. They're going to impeach me. They have no idea why. I saw today a congressman said on one of the shows, we're going to impeach President Trump. We're going to impeach him. Oh, really? Why? The person was asking. A neutral commentator for a change. I like neutral commentators. Oh, I see. You're going to impeach him. Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's all right. That person's going home to mom, going to get scolded because mom is voting for us. You know, mom is voting for us. But I said, you're going to lose all of your tax breaks. You're going to lose everything. So you have to get out and vote. No, they're going to do it. They're going to impeach. But did you see it this morning? This congressman, it's a big story. He's on, we're going to impeach President Trump. Why are you going to impeach him? The commentator, why are you going to impeach him? What has he done wrong? I don't know. I don't know. We're working on it. We're looking at different things. The guy had no idea. It's a disgusting thing. So you're going to lose everything. I'm going to have to go through impeachment. These are lunatics. These are people that are vicious, violent, that weaponize the justice system, the Justice Department, and they want to destroy our country. They want to see that our country fail. They want our country to fail, and we can't let that happen. You have to get out and vote in the midterms. One other thing, and you know, they know Darlene because Lindsey was so prominent. He was so amazing. But they know how great she is, and they want Darlene to lose and the election, and they want really, I hate to tell you this, Darlene, they want Darlene to lose because of me. If I would support somebody else, in fact, Darlene, I'll do that if you'd like me to. Because, you know, when I fought for the wall, we ended up building 1,200 miles of wall. I used to say, we will build the wall. You remember, I would come down here, we will build the wall. The wall has been, and we built the wall. We built a lot of wall. We built the whole thing. But I said, we will build the wall. It took me 2 years, a little bit slow sometimes. If I would have said, we will not build the wall, they would have given me all the money I want. So, Darlene, I'll say, I do not want Darlene to win. No, they don't want her to win because they know how good. And they think that it hurts MAGA. It hurts. And MAGA is, if you look at the Republican Party is MAGA. It's like, you know, I watched another commentator say the Republican Party is only 70% MAGA. Let me tell you, the Republican Party, I think, the real Republican Party is 100% Make America Great Again. But they're only fighting, Darlene, because they want me to lose, which isn't fair. But I'm doing this to honor Lindsay. I'm doing this to honor Lindsay. That's why I'm here. I don't have to be here on a Friday. I don't have to be here. Although I must say I love it. And now that I am here, we got plenty of time to talk, right? We got plenty of time. So, Darlene, we got to win that race. And we appreciate that you're doing it. I asked her to do it. She didn't. She was very happy. Henry appointed her because she was a perfect appointment to serve out the term. And I said, Henry, she should really run. She's fantastic. We all know it. And I said, Darlene, I called her. I said, Darlene, I'd love to see you run beyond the 5 months that you're serving. And you've already made an impact in the Senate. You know that. Everybody respects you. Everybody listens to you. So I asked her to run. And I think she's going to do phenomenally. I really think it's amazing. You know, she's never done it before, but she knows politics well. But she loves things. She loves our military. She loves things that have to do with greatness for America. So the Democrats hate our country. They're communists. They're radical left lunatics. And frankly, they're, in many cases, horrible, horrible people. Do you remember as crooked Hillary Clinton? Remember crooked Hillary Clinton? She said, do you remember when she said, they're deplorable and irredeemable, right? Remember the word deplorable? That was a killer. That was the end of her election. And it's amazing because I heard her say that. I was watching her. I said, wow, that's tough. She said, they're deplorable and irredeemable. And I said, the word irredeemable is not going to be accepted. Well, actually, that was accepted, but deplorable wasn't. So, you know, I think irredeemable is worse. But she was deplorable, and what they're doing is deplorable. And we have to make the midterm elections too big to rig. Very simple. Too big to rig, like we did my election. And I upheld my ultimate promise, and that's I made our country great again. We made our country great in a much shorter period of time than anybody thought. And we can never let it go back to where it was just 2 years ago. Our country was a laughing stock all over the world. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Everybody will tell you. Anywhere in the world. And under our leadership, America is winning again. America is respected again like it has never been respected before. I can tell you, they respect your president. They laughed at your president. They respect this president. But now the radical left Democrats, I call them Democrats because their policy is so dumb. Think of it. Men in women's sports, open borders for the entire world to pour into, totally unchecked, unvetted. Think of it. The transgender nonsense, like everybody, your children should be mutilated in a chair. Can you believe these things? And I don't talk about it too much until we get right before an election because I don't want them to change. Because anybody that believes in defunding the police and all these, they want to defund the police, and they want to. Anybody that believes in this stuff cannot win an election. So I always tell the Republicans, Don't talk about it because they'll change. Do it 1 week, 2 weeks before the election. And that's where we are. We're a week before the election. So we're talking about it, Darlene. But the radical left Democrats want to destroy all the progress that we made and bring back their nation-wrecking nightmare of open borders, of sanctuary cities, of massive tax hikes, crippling energy restrictions, ruinous inflation, the highest ever, the highest at a minimum in 48 years, racist DEI mandates, and defunding the police. But Senator Darlene Graham and the people of South Carolina are not going to let that happen, right? We're not going to let it happen. For 4 long years of Biden, you saw the radical Democrat agenda in action, and we're never going back. We can't go back. We can never do that again. That was close to the end of our country. I'll tell you what, had I not won, and this isn't about me, but had I not won, our country was ruined. We would have never been able to come back. Welfare was doubling. Welfare was set to triple, and our business was going down the tubes. The companies were all leaving. Now these big companies are all coming into our country, and that to me means 2 things: money for our country, taxes, and jobs. Jobs. It really means a lot of jobs. Remember what I say, and I'll say it again and again. There are more people working today in the United States of America than at any time in the history of our country. And I have to be telling the truth, because those fake news reporters, if I exaggerate, if I'm wrong by one person, they're going to say, this was terrible. He exaggerated. I've learned, I say it so straight. Sometimes I won't even say certain things if I'm not sure. We have more people working today than at any time in the history of our country. We're going to get out in the midterms, and we're not going to let them steal this election. And we have people laughing at America as they were just 2 years ago. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let people laugh at us anymore. We're the smart country now, not the dumb country. We were a dumb, stupid country led by a very, very stupid person who wasn't leading. I mean, they had some radical left lunatics leading. He was not leading. In state after state, the Democrat Party is now running the most extreme, unhinged, anti-American candidates in the history of our country. Their party has gone full-on communist. Do you remember at the State of the Union, Tim Scott was there? Barrasso was there, Senator Barrasso, a great senator. I don't know what the hell you're doing so far. Where's Barrasso? Look at him. He's a great senator, not from these parts, but he likes these parts, and he likes Tim Scott. But they were there, and I said at the State of the Union, our country will never be a socialist country, right? Will never be. Well, and thank you. No, I said our country will never be a socialist country, and I was 100% right. It's gone communist. Okay, so they skipped. Tim, they skipped socialism. They went like this, forget socialism. They've gone head-on communist, not socialist. In fact, we're looking for some socialists. Are there any around, please? No, they've gone communist, but we're not going to let that happen. That I can tell you. It's never worked. In 1,000 years with different names, lots of different names, it's never worked once. In Florida, 3 days ago, Democrats nominated an official member of the Marxist Democrat Socialists of America Party for the U.S. Senate. This is the easiest race that I've ever seen. We have a great candidate, as you know. And I'm going to call her. I'm going to say there's actually pressure on her. Because when you have somebody that bad running against you, you actually have pressure. You got to win by a lot. But she's going to do fantastic. A group that stands for, this is a group that stands for eliminating the United States Senate, replacing the presidency and the Supreme Court of the United States, and I'm happy with the Supreme Court today, very happy, okay? Defunding and abolishing the police. Amnesty for all illegals, including murderers and all other criminals, including ending our military, enacting reparations for a very small group of people, and of course, immediately abolishing all prisons and terminating police. Other than that, I think they're quite reasonable. Crime, squalor, and filth will take over our country. And, you know, I said it last week. For the first time with all the campaigning, I said this last week. I said, you know, I've watched some of these blue states run by radical left, like this guy in Chicago, in Illinois, the governor, Pritzker. It's amazing what happens. It all becomes, I'm a very clean person, you know. I like to clean my hands as much as possible and all this. I don't like paper in the ground. I like everything nice and clean, like we did with Washington, D.C. You can ask the senators. Washington, D.C. was almost the crime capital of the United States. Can you imagine? We took out over 5,000 career criminals, and everything's clean. Our monuments are clean. We took 82 monuments, fountains, beautiful. Everything's so beautiful. They had graffiti. Many of them didn't work for 35 years. And Washington is beautiful. And more importantly, it's very safe. We changed the grass in a lot of the parks. The homeless are no longer there in the tents that were all over the place. The homeless are no longer there. Terrible. I did that all in a year. In 1 year, we did it. You know, a restaurateur, they were all losing their restaurants. Nobody was going to restaurants. Now you can't get a restaurant in Washington, D.C. And for those people that want to go out and eat, you're lucky if you can even get into it. It's the hottest. It's become one of the hottest cities in the entire United States. And isn't that nice? It's the capital of our nation. It's clean, it's safe, it's beautiful. And I want to thank our National Guard, who did a phenomenal job. Telling you, you can't get into a restaurant, Tim, right? John, you can't get into a restaurant. That's a bad thing. You want to go to a restaurant, you can't get in. Before you could get in, and then somebody would walk in and hold up the whole restaurant. Stick them up. It's hard to believe. They don't do that anymore in Washington. No, crime is down 78%. Think of that. Crime in Memphis is way down. I got a call from the governor, good governor, and he said, could you come and do something? It's down 80%. Crime in New Orleans, they just had Mardi Gras. The governor, great guy, Jeff Landry, he said, President, we need help. We have Mardi Gras. This is 2 or 3 months ago. He said, we have Mardi Gras. This place is a crime fest. And I sent in the National Guard and some great experts, and they had the safest Mardi Gras they've ever had. Crime is down 79%. This is after 5 months. And I could do the same thing for New York, for Chicago, and LA. All they have to do is call me. It would be easy. Terrible what's gone on in Illinois. But in Michigan, the Democrat nominee for Senate, Abdul El-Sayed, admitted openly that he wants to pack the Supreme Court with 23 far-left justices to shred the Constitution of the United States. His sister, very close relationship, celebrated the terrorist slaughter of babies on October 7th. His mother worked for an organization that gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to a gentleman named Osama bin Laden. Have you heard of him? Knocked down the World Trade Center. She gave him a lot of money, and he recently campaigned with a communist fanatic who says that America deserved 9/11. We deserved it, right? We deserved all that death, destruction. In Texas, the Democrat nominee for Senate said he hates Christianity and that the 10 Commandments are a form of fascism. The 10 Commandments are fascism. He's a disaster, that guy. That guy is a disaster. And just last week, the entire Democrat National Committee voted to abolish ICE, meaning the official Democrat Party platform now is, on top of everything else, they want to do that. I mean, they want to end all enforcement. They want to end law and order in our country. They want to make it worse than it was. When I took over, our border was being overrun by millions and millions of people. Ultimate 25 million people throughout the 4-year period came into our country. They want to make it easier. Was that a good thing? Was that good or bad? I think she said Trump Nation. I like that. I like that. I like that. Leave her alone. Don't do it. She said Trump Nation. That's okay. Trump Nation's okay. I wasn't sure. You never know what they're saying nowadays, do you, Front Row Joes? But communism is the single greatest threat to our country in history, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. And that's why we're going to crush the radical Democrats at the ballot box this November. And we're going to defeat communism in America once and for all. We're going to defeat it. It's never worked. It's dirty. It's filthy. It's unhappy. Did you ever see a happy communist? You ever see a communist laugh? I never saw it. I've known communists. They don't laugh. They're very unhappy people. We want to be happy. With your vote for Darlene on Tuesday, we are going to send a message straight to the Democrat Party headquarters in Washington. We're going to tell them that we will never abolish ICE. We will never surrender our Constitution. And we will never allow our country to even think about being a communist or even a socialist country. We're not going to let it happen. Darlene Graham has devoted her entire life to the people of the state, just like her brother. He was that's all he talked about was South Carolina. He was driving me crazy. I love the people. Yet I got higher votes than him. Explain that, Darlene. He loved this state. For years, Darlene led an important state agency with 130 employees, and she ran it impeccably. And a $90 million budget. She served on the South Carolina Workforce Development Board, which was legendary to help working families. And when her beloved brother, Lindsey, passed away unexpectedly, I can't believe he's not here even. I went to her and I said, you got to run, Darlene. And with your support, Darlene will defend common sense in our nation's capital. She'll fight for lower taxes, bigger paychecks, no amnesty for illegal aliens. And she'll always protect your Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. And Darlene, more than anything else, because her brother was very much about the world. It was very much about the world. He really had it right, but he focused very much on that. That's good. That's fine. But she's more about affordability. She's about what we have, how much a loaf of bread is going to cost, how much beef is going to cost. Beef is coming down rapidly, by the way. But she was very much about affordability, I think more so than Lindsey, much more so. He had some unbelievable things going, but he was really about foreign nations not hurting our country. He was about Iran not having a nuclear weapon. He felt so strongly. Look, if that ever happened, if they ever did, they use it. They'd wipe out Israel immediately. They'd wipe out the Middle East. And you don't think they'd be coming here? You'd say, which city is next? We're not going to let that happen. We have them. Those B-2 bombers a year ago, they ended that hope. But as much as anybody in the Senate, and maybe more, Darlene will support our military. I spoke to her 2 days ago, and what she really wants to do is support our military and make sure they're taken care of. Because, you know, the Democrats take care of illegal aliens. They give them the best hotel rooms in the country. As our military sat outside, remember during Biden? Our military veterans were sitting outside on a freezing sidewalk in New York, and the illegal aliens were upstairs in hotel suites being paid thousands of dollars a night to that hotel while our veterans were outside. And she brought that up to me, and I think it's something she's never, I think it's something she's never forgotten. It was terrible, and we ended that very rapidly. The Democrat who Darlene is running to defeat is a far-left political hack who supports transgender for everybody and believes in telling confused children they're trapped in the wrong body. By the way, do you notice how that's changing now? In fact, hospitals now are doing reverse surgery at my order. They're doing reverse surgery. Nobody ever heard about it. Darlene is also a anti-gun. Think of it. She's going to be protecting a thing called your Second Amendment, which is so important, and it's under siege. And Darlene, I can use your help because I want to tell you, I've been protecting it for 10 years. And every time there's an incident, it starts over and over again. I protected your Second Amendment. Nobody else could have protected it like I did. And I worked with John and with Tim Scott, and many others. We had great Republican senators, in all fairness, on the Second Amendment. But it's not easy, and Darlene's going to help us with the Second Amendment, and we need the help. If you put that other person in, if you put that Democrat in, she will be fighting. Look, it's going to be a vote to get rid of your guns. You can't do it. Can't do it. And I'm not talking about the enjoyment aspect of it, and that's important. But you have to be able to defend yourself against lunatics. So, in a nutshell, you have to defeat the Democrats and elect Darlene Graham. Now, if you don't mind, because you heard her, I was on a plane coming here. Could I ask Darlene to come up for a second? Do you mind? Darlene, please come up. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your endorsement. It has meant the world to me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming to South Carolina. This is MAGA country, right? Yes. Woo! Absolutely. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for that beautiful eulogy you gave at Lindsay's service. That meant the world to me. It was beautiful, y'all, if you didn't hear it. And his friendship with Lindsay meant so much to Lindsay. You were one of his closest friends. I hope you know that. And you will forever be part of the Graham family for that. And I met with the president a few weeks ago in the Oval Office, and I left that office knowing that he is going to work. He works every single day, all day long, so hard for this country. It is amazing. And Mr. President, I am proud to stand with you, to work hard for this country, and to work for this great state of South Carolina every single day. You know, Mr. President, Joe Biden just about ruined our country. He opened the borders and let people flood in here, terrorists and illegals, and you saved our country, and I want to thank you for that. So again, thank you so much for coming to South Carolina. We love President Trump in South Carolina, don't we? Yes, we do. This is Trump country. Yeah. USA, 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 USA.
got a nice way about her. You know, you're all standing up for her. You didn't stand up for me. What's going on? I'm angry. I don't like this. I'm upset with Darlene. Thank you, Darlene. Great job. It's a lot of love. Thank you, Darlene. With Darlene's help in the Senate, we're going to continue to build on the most successful 19 months of any administration in American history. We've had the best first year and a half of any president in history. There's not been anybody that's done what we've done in terms of our military, in terms of tax cuts. You know, the Democrats want to raise your taxes. All my life, I've watched politicians, and all my life, I've watched them say, we will cut your taxes, we will cut taxes, we will lower your taxes. These people say we're going to raise your taxes. And people go and vote for them. I don't get it. I don't get it. But in great news for South Carolina workers and the Port of Charleston, it was recently announced that American exports have skyrocketed to the highest level in American history. That's your port that we helped so much. And that Henry is already asking me for more money. Let's make it a little deeper. Do you mind, sir? Oh, yeah, great. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate it. But Henry was after money. He's always after money for the state. But he always gets it. I always give it to him. Likewise, manufacturing is booming at the fastest pace in many, many years here and all over our nation, in all fairness. The stock market is at 80 all-time highs since our election. So we've been in for a year and a half. Think of that. And the typical 401k is up by nearly $40,000 since I took office, setting records day after day. It's at the highest level. 401ks are at the highest level in history. And with the help of our Republican majorities in Congress last year, I proudly signed the great big beautiful bill delivering the largest tax cuts in American history. We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on car loans 100% tax deductible, but only if you buy a car that's made in the USA, if that's okay. That never happened for people that go out and vote. They never had that. I'm getting you a deduction. You're not used to, rich people are used to deductions, but people that work very hard, middle income, upper middle income, they're not allowed to take. We have a deduction. You can deduct the interest from your income tax. It's going to be a very big thing, and it's selling cars all over the place. Something like that never happened. That was one of my little ideas. So there was no tax on tips, which was particularly good in the state of Nevada, where everybody is a waitress, caddy, or waiter. That was a pretty good idea. You know, they came in about 2 months later. They said, we want no tax on tips, and they got laughed out of the place. We won the state. First Republican to win that state in many, many years. And we're going to win it for a long time to come, Nevada. But everything we've done on taxes and all of the things, jobs, all of those things are going to be wiped out if the Democrats are allowed to win, and that's why you have to go out and vote. While the radical Democrats like to say that they stand for working people, they don't. In fact, every single Democrat in Congress voted against your tax cuts. Think of it. Every single Democrat. Is that a correct statement, John, Tim, everybody? They voted against your tax cuts. They voted against no tax on tips. They voted against no tax on overtime. They voted against no tax on Social Security. The Democrats want to raise your taxes, not lower them. They voted against voter ID. They voted against proof of citizenship. When you go to vote, we want you to just show ID, please. Voter ID with a photo, if it's okay. Okay? With a photo. Because I don't want to get, if I'm working behind a booth, I don't want to get Senator Tim Scott confused with Trey Gowdy, as an example. If Tim hands me his identification and it shows a picture of Trey Gowdy, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, sir, this isn't working. Right? Right? It's not going to happen, Tim. But they voted against our police, they voted against our military, and they voted against our vets. Everything. They voted against everything. They voted in favor of transgender mutilization of your children. They voted in favor of men playing in women's sports, and every single Democrat in the House and Senate, every one of them, voted against our work to achieve the most secure border in the United States history. Not one person voted in favor of the border or the wall, where I built 1,200 miles of wall. That's one of the reasons we have the record that we did. And in the past, this is hard to believe, actually, but in the past 15 months, a historic record of 0 illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States of America. 0. And we've cut the flow of fentanyl across our border by 64%. Think of that. 64. And by the way, coming in by water, fentanyl coming in, down 97%. 97. Think of it, down 97%. And it's nasty. But, you know, they call it intradict. We would intradict. We'd get the boats. We'd bring them to Miami. We'd give the guy a fine. He'd go to court. The court would let him out 15 minutes later. He'd be back on a boat that night bringing drugs into our country. They don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. They get hit. They get hit. Never miss. We have the greatest military in the world. They get hit. I built the military in my first term, created a Space Force with the help of those two guys and plenty of others. But we created Space Force, but now they get hit. So it's down 97%. And here's what we're doing. Tim Scott, John Barrasso are looking for the 3% of the people that still do that, because we consider them to be the bravest people anywhere in the world. The 3% that are willing to go and take drugs into our country, I think, Tim, they're the bravest people anywhere in the world. Or they don't watch television. Maybe they don't watch television. But we're down 97% by sea. Can you believe it? And now the easy part begins. Now we stop them by land. The harder part was by water. And we're finding the migrant criminals that the Democrats let in, and we're putting them in jail and throwing them out of the country. You know, one of the best statistics, I say it all the time now, because Washington is a good case. We moved 5,000 criminals out of Washington, D.C. Otherwise, we couldn't have the record we had. But 2% of the population creates 91% of the crime. And see, that can work. If we said 40%, 50%, 30%, that would be very tough. That's a real problem. That's almost unsolvable. All problems are solved, but that's almost unsolvable. So only 2% of the population, because you have criminals that create crimes, some cases 3-4 crimes a day. 2% of the population creates 91% of the crimes. We got them the hell out of our country. Okay, we got them out. Some are in jail. Some are in jail because they're so dangerous. We don't want to take any chance. They're murderers. Just days ago, in a wealthy suburban neighborhood in Virginia, a sadistic illegal alien monster from El Salvador murdered a 42-year-old mother, stabbing her repeatedly over and over again, dumping her in a park and trying to light her blood-soaked body on fire after putting gasoline all over her. Didn't get to do that, but she was long dead. This savage animal entered our country illegally in 2024, and under the open border stupid policy of the radical Democrats, he was released into the United States again and again. A lot of people are asking me, what do you do? And would you do me a favor? Would you ever read The Snake? Do you remember The Snake, anybody? Would anybody like to hear The Snake? It's Friday, we have plenty of time. I have all this time. Do you want to hear The Snake? Gotta read. Look, it's a Friday night, we have plenty of time, right? What the hell do I have to do? Go back, bomb Iran a little bit more? What the hell? So this is from an old song with some changes, and I just think it's so apropos, especially when you hear of the story I just told you. And it's called The Snake, and it represents our border and the horrible people that this country has allowed into our country through the Obama and the Biden administrations. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Her pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, oh tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman," cried the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, "Thank you, ma'am," the snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." That's our border. That's our border. That's our border. Haven't done that in a long time. Right? Haven't done that in a long time. So true. That's our border. People are coming in. They're murderers. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. Nothing you can do to change them. They were born killers. And we're not keeping them in our country. They're getting out. We're bringing them out. And thank you, ICE. And thank you, Border Patrol. And thank you, law enforcement. And if you want millions of migrant criminals sent into your communities to loot and maim and rob and pillage and kill, vote for the radical left Democrats. They will fulfill your needs. If you want to get the migrant criminals out of your communities, you have to vote Republican. We're doing it rapidly. We're making up all of that, the horror that was allowed. You know, they gave us the worst inflation in 48 years in history, as far as I'm concerned. And all of these things, I've already solved that, mostly solved it. It'll be soon solved. When the fuel comes down, it's going to come rocketing down. But I've already said, the worst thing they did to us is allow 25 million people into our country that was so bad, so evil, many of them, so bad. And these countries forced them out. You know, the countries didn't want them. Even the ones that didn't have prison records, they were, you will see, largely on welfare. They didn't work. There were problems. These countries are smart. I know the leaders. I know all of them. Very streetwise. By the way, I want to do one thing, if I could interject, because sitting next to Darlene is a very handsome man. It's her husband, and her family is here. And I have to ask you, please stand up. Would you please stand up? What a great guy. Great. Look at the family. Great people. That's like from a postcard. In my old days, I'd grab that family and use them in an ad for a hotel. I'd say, do you mind taking an ad, Darlene? I want to use you people for an ad. What a beautiful family. And I have to mention, and it's so good that your family is so supportive, because without that, it doesn't work. Thank you very much. You're doing it for the country. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Last year, under my leadership, we achieved the largest drop in murder. Think of that. Ever. The largest murder rate drop ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years, since the year 1900, 125 years. And we're making America safe again at home and strong again on the world stage. Everyone's respecting us. And thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're making the largest ever investment in the United States Armed Forces by far. And these guys are helping a lot. And I built our military during my first term, and we're using it now. But the late, great Senator Lindsey Graham was always one of the fiercest defenders of the United States military. There is nobody that fought for our military like Lindsey. And I'm proud to say that we officially named Joint Base Charleston in his honor. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And he really deserves it. You see things named after people, sometimes you say, what's that all about? He deserves it. So we're delivering Joint Base Lindsey Graham, nearly $360 million in this year's defense spending. That's good for your state also. And millions more are going to be spent on the Marines at Beaufort and Parris Island. With Darlene as your senator, those bases will be part of the bedrock of American military dominance for decades and decades to come. And I'm so proud of what we're able to do so easily with Lindsey. You know, name changes on bases is a big deal. It takes many, many years, right? This one took a week. That's how much he deserved it. So congratulations to the entire family, Darlene. Great. We miss him. And we're pleased also to be joined tonight by many great South Carolina patriots, including just about my first endorsement in the great state of South Carolina. He was the lieutenant governor at the time. And you had a governor that I didn't like too much. And she endorsed somebody else. And I said, that's strange, because I was always very good to her. But we had a lieutenant governor named Henry McMaster, and Peg is a part of Henry McMaster. And he said, I endorse the guy named Donald Trump who's running. He's going to be a great president. And I want to just ask, and you have been an unbelievable governor. And I want to thank Henry McMaster. Thank you, Henry. Please. And by the way, he was the first. There were a few Republicans that are good, but he was the first one. He kept your state totally open during COVID, okay? That's pretty good. He turned out to be right. He turned out to be right, Darlene, right? These other guys, they closed up the states. The states will never actually recover, mostly blue states in all fairness. With us also is Senator Tim Scott and Senator John Barrasso. Would you come up? Come on up. And I want to ask Russell Fry to come up. Come up, Russell. Come up here. What the hell? It's Friday night. What are we going to do? Let's have a good time, right?
Is South Carolina Donald J. Trump country? Oh, now this is South Carolina. And when we say we love President Trump, we say it loud and we say it proud. Is this Donald Trump country? Oh, we love a president who closes our borders. We love a president who cuts our taxes. And we love a president who keeps Americans safe. Mr. President, I told these folks earlier that Wyoming and South Carolina are states filled with conservative people who love Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. And I told them that you and Darlene in Wyoming follow what we call the cowboy code. You live each day with courage, you take pride in your work, and you do what needs to be done every day for the people of this great country. And for this, we are very, very grateful.
Myrtle Beach, how we doing? Like the president said, it is Friday. Are y'all ready for November? Are we going to let the Democrats unseal our border again? Are we going to let them raise our taxes? Are we going to let them transform our children into robots? Oh, of course we're not. You know why? Because MAGA is strong, and MAGA is strong when we work as a team. This team right here, and Darlene Graham is our next senator. Let's go get the job done.
And by the way, Governor McMaster has just endorsed very strongly, very powerfully, Senator Graham. So that's good. That's a big endorsement. Darlene, that's a big endorsement. I don't know, that's pretty good. I think it was, you know, a lot of politicians want to stay out of a race. They never get involved, but that's why Henry's different. But just gave her a full-throated endorsement. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you, Henry. Also with us is the Speaker of the South Carolina House, Merrill Smith. Thank you, Merrill. Thank you very much. Good job. And two fantastic Republican candidates who have my complete and total endorsement. Jenny Honeycutt for the 1st Congressional District. Jenny's terrific. And Congressional District, think of this, somebody that's very special, somebody that I've known for a long time, Cody Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner. Cody's going to do a great job, right? Thank you, Cody, very much. Good luck. I also want to express our thanks to a wonderful woman here tonight who has done an unbelievable job. It's so sad. You know, you meet people and you love people, but her name is Caroline, and she's our press secretary, and she just had a baby. And I just learned she loves the baby more than she loves Donald Trump, and I'm very angry with her. Where is Caroline? She's fantastic. You haven't heard the last of her. She'll be working for us outside, but she's going to spend a little time with those two beautiful babies, right? Thank you, Caroline. What a job. Oh, bring her up. They're all... Come on, Caroline. Bring her up. Come on, Caroline.
Hello, South Carolina. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. President. You didn't need to bring me up on stage, though I do love a good podium. And I just want to say, President Trump, you are the most consequential and historic president in the history of our great country. And it has been the honor of my life to serve as your White House press secretary, sir. It really has. And I just want to let everyone in this room know how hard this man works for all of you and for every American across the country. Regardless of whether they're a Republican or a Democrat, you call this man at 6 in the morning, you call him at 3 in the morning, he picks up the phone because he's looking out for you. And he needs your help with a Republican Congress for the next 2 years so he can make our country greater and stronger and wealthier than ever before. So get out and vote. Thank you.
Well, she was great, and she continues to be great. And you'll be hearing from her. She's got a great life ahead. But, you know, she wants to be with the babies for a little while at least. And she is very special. Thank you very much, Caroline. So in just 19 months, we've turned this country completely around. And today our border is secure, jobs are up, inflation is down, investment is pouring in, factories are opening. Our military is more powerful than it has ever been before. America is back, and our greatest victories are yet to come. Today, with our Republican majorities in Congress, we will crush violent crime, impose harsh new penalties for dangerous repeat offenders, crack down on Marxist prosecutors, and we will end no cash bail, where it all started, no cash bail. We will expand my most favored nation policy on drug prices, where drugs are down 70, 80, and 90%. Nobody has ever even thought of that. For decades, Americans paid the highest prices for prescription drugs anywhere in the world by far. And now we are paying the lowest price paid by any other country. So you went from paying the highest prices in the world to the lowest prices in the world. And I had to work hard to get that done. So I'm giving you the largest prescription drug price cuts in history, with differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Think of that. You'd ever think you'd hear that? You know, it's funny. In my first term, I was very proud because I was able to cut drug from January to December by, think of this, 0.1%. It's the first time a drug cut was able to get through for a year period in 28 years. So they went 28 years where drugs only went this way, prescription drugs and drugs of all kinds. And I was told that I was the first in 28 years to cut 0.1%. And I had a news conference, and I was beaming. I thought it was great. 0.1%. Now I've cut drug prices 60, 70, 80, and even 90%. Who would have thought? And other presidents knew this was a possibility, but they weren't able to get it done. Most of them never even tried, but I got the other countries to do it. They had to agree to it. You think it was easy? Because their prices had to go up in order for our prices to come down. And I said, you gotta let your prices rise. And we did. They had to double and triple their prices in order to get us that cut. And I won't tell you what I said to them, but it wasn't very pleasant, I can tell you. So we should win the midterms on this issue alone, on drug pricing alone, we should win. And that's going to have a huge impact on your health care, because health care is, so much of it is made up on prescription drugs. Together, we will pass the great health care plan to stop all payments to big insurance companies and give the money directly to the people so that they can buy their own health care, which will be much better care at a much lower price. A lot of money left over. And finally, we must pass the Save America Act to defend our sacred American elections. You know what I mean? Gotta do it. You gotta do it, Tim. We have to do it. And to do that, all voters must show voter ID, and all voters must provide, very simply, proof of citizenship. And we will enshrine, we had a victory in the Supreme Court on this subject, but we got to get it done permanently and good. We will enshrine no men in women's sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. And it's hard to believe we have to fight. Who could believe that we're standing up here? Can you imagine being like 20 years ago and you'd have a presidential candidate or a president standing up saying, we will not allow men to play in women's sports? They'd say, this guy's crazy. And now it's like a battle. Can you believe it? Or transgender mutilization of your children will take place. Now, could you imagine saying that like 20 years ago, even 15 years ago? They take the guy off and put him in a cage that said there's something wrong with him. And I actually have to get up and fight for no men playing in women's sports, no transgender surgery of your children. It's not even believable, but that's the radical left. They're crazy, and you can't let them get involved any further with this country. But once again, it all begins with voting for Darlene Graham and some great, great people. And in this case, the runoff is Tuesday, August 25th. And I will be watching all day long. No, I want that to happen. For Lindsay, I want it to happen. The polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. So get your friends and get your neighbors and get out and vote for Darlene Graham. And remember, they say again that Trump gets a lot of votes, but if he's not on the ballot, people don't vote so much. I am on the ballot. We're all on the ballot. Our country's on the ballot. You have to get out. You have to vote. I am on the ballot. We're all on the ballot. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen of South Carolina, the golden age of America is upon us. And together with your help and patriots all across this magnificent land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And above all, we will make America great again. Thank you, South Carolina. Thank you, Myrtle Beach. I'll be back. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck, Darlene. Good luck. Gonna have a big win. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
President Donald J. Trump speaking to...
All right. Well, that was fun. We still have more news to cover, even though we've been live for 3 hours now. This is quite the long coffee with hooligans, but that's all right. Where are we? We were talking about that woman in New York that was sympathizing with ISIS. We just covered that right before the president got on stage. So next up, Philly police identified Chucky mask suspect. This is obviously a follow-up to that assholes run around in what they're calling as a Chucky mask. He's harassing people, and they figured out who he is thanks to cameras being all over. We actually have 2 bits of news, Lefty's losing it, and our 2 funny videos of the day. Now, before we get into this next video here, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. If you would like to see us open advent calendars, read jokes, tell facts, or a word of the day, I have a list of new things on the wish list that will keep the fun going. You are welcome to go check all of that out. I'm going to drop this link really quick. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us once again over on the website. You're a badass. So here's the link for the wish list if you guys would like to keep the fun going on the live. Like I said, like the top 10 or 15 items on the wish list are all for fun stuff for the live, so definitely go check it out. We're gonna get right into this next one. Like I said, follow-up video with the person wearing a mask harassing people. Now they claim it's a Chucky mask. I don't think it looks like a Chucky mask, but what do I know? And then next up, we got $85 hair prostitutes. I know you guys have been waiting 3 days for that video. I know I have. Anyways, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get into this.
And remember that scary video the other day of the guy in a Chucky-style Halloween mask scaring and threatening people in Philadelphia? Well, today cops are sending him a message. We know who you are.
Cops say they have identified the suspect who terrorized the city of Philadelphia wearing a Chucky-style Halloween mask like this. We told you how he was caught on surveillance cameras running up to women and asking, "Are you ready to die?" Cops say he's 22-year-old Zymir Hughes, and a warrant is out for his arrest.
You think it's funny to scare people? Well, get ready to get scared by us, because we got the handcuffs, we got the jail cell, we got the Philly jury that's going to tell you it's not funny at all.
Cops say Hughes can be seen riding a Philadelphia bus right after taking off his Chucky-like mask and putting it in a backpack.
Police say the suspect was filming the scares to post on social media. They also say he may no longer be in Philadelphia because he has ties to both California and Nevada.
Okay, quick little follow-up there. Saying police figured out who the person is that was scaring individuals. 22-year-old dumbass. He was caught on camera taking his mask off, and now there's a warrant for his arrest. Hope it was worth it. Trying to go viral on the internet. He's going to go viral, all right. He's going to be lots of fun in jail, I'm sure. Anyways, next up, these prostitutes. We're going to just get right into this because that last one's a follow-up. Klaus is rioting, and I'm impatient because I want you guys to know they got $85 hair prostitutes out in New York. I don't know a lot about prostitutes, but that seems like a pretty good deal. Anyways, prostitutes flood Hakeem Jeffries and AOC's districts out in the New York. Hit that like button and let's get into this.
Fox News alert, Hakeem's got a big hooker problem on his home turf. And we have the shots. Senior national correspondent Kevin Cork is here. What do you have, Kevin?
Good to be with you, Jesse. You know, if it's another thug off the streets, that's not a real big deal, right? Arrests happen all the time. But when it's one of New York's most notorious pimps who was operating in the district of the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, well, that'll certainly get your attention. We're talking, of course, about 45-year-old Omari Prince Scott, finally caged at the end of July and sentenced to 50 years on charges of human trafficking and ordering the murder of a rival. But for many, One of the most compelling aspects of his trial was the window it opened into the seedy environs of the so-called Penn Track in East New York, Brooklyn, also known as the Blade, which, as mentioned, is in the district of Hakeem Jeffries. Now, sadly, according to the New York Post, despite Scott's conviction, it's still business as usual in this area, with dozens of women on the street selling sex for as little as $85 at a time. And the conditions are apparently worse than ever, according to local sex workers who spoke with the Post. In fact, one victim testified in the trial they never keep any of the money they make. It all goes back to the pimp, who, of course, then beats them and determines how the money is spent, you know, on hotels, meals, clothing, hair products, and gold chains. Who knows? And perhaps worst of all, the abuse was so intense that testified that she couldn't even sleep until she made a certain amount of money, even if it was raining or snowing or meant working all night. And it's not just in Hakeem Jeffries' district. This has also been a problem in the district of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a red light district. Now, these pics are from last year, but it is a persistent problem in their respective districts. Now, in response to the story in the Post, the NYPD touted the arrest of the neighborhood's top pimp, along with 90 human trafficking arrests over the World Cup, and they continue to patrol the area tonight. But it's a persistent problem that doesn't seem to be getting a lot of attention from either lawmaker, Jesse.
All right. Well, Mondani's office says he's going to clean it up, and we'll see what he does. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll see. You bet.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all.
All right. There's so much stuff that I love about that video. It is like a South Park episode. I've probably watched it 4 or 5 times. Either way, they're saying the Hakeem Jeffries and AOC's district is full of prostitutes. They said the prostitutes selling themselves for as little as $85. And the first thing I thought when I heard that is, how do they know that information? It's not like a billboard. You can't just go to the website. This is not like that. They had to go ask one of these hoes, how much is it today? And $85 was the answer. Anyways, they say that they don't get to keep the money. They have to give it to their pimp, and then they get beat. And they say, of course. Like, that's just how the transaction goes. Hilarious. Then the pimp goes out and buys a new gold chain. And I don't know, it sounds racist when they say it, but, you know, pimping ain't easy. Anyways, next up we got Lefties Losing It. And because we had 2 days down, we got Lefties Losing It today, and we're actually going to have Lefties Losing It tomorrow. And normally we don't have any on Friday or Saturday, so lucky us. It's coming up next, but first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about the follow-up on the Chucky Mask idiot, as well as prostitutes going for as little as $85. What a deal. Russell, the red light district in Europe was cool. Well, now we got one in New York. 10 man, you know you were looking at that pudgy one right there. That's probably the $85 one right there. Here, geez, how do they know the price? They had to inquire. 10 man, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's funny. Here, Juicer, remind me about a gooning story in voice chat. You guys need to be a part of the website because you're missing out, you know? I'm just saying. We got all the good stuff in gooning stories. And if you're real lucky, we'll get Hair Juicer to tell you a poodle story that'll change your life. Wrench, that endorsement better be full-throated, right? That's right. Ghostly. Yeah, we'll read it out loud. $85 is for a BJ from a crackhead. Sounds like a bad time. It does. It doesn't sound good. No, I'm not a fan either. You'll be all right. Starving. What's up, Disciple? Happy freedom to you. Dems aren't at all interested in anything. Let's see, interested in cleaning up anything but their own paper trails. Yeah, Disciple, you're right. No, they like their prostitutes. Freely text AOC's down there tricking for $85. Yep. Somebody told her that was a good price. Magic Moon, oldest profession, they say. Yep. Well, it's so empowering They got a lot of these sleuths out on the internet calling themselves entrepreneurs. I don't know if slinging your hoo-ha makes you an entrepreneur. If you don't pay taxes on it, then you are absolutely not an entrepreneur. I'll tell you that right now. It could be arguable, but if you're not paying the tax doll hairs like the rest of us, nah, you're not an entrepreneur. What's up, Jeremy? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bob the comedian? Happy freedom to you. G-Chops, $85 for 5 minutes. Sounds like a great hourly wage. Yeah, but my ass hurts. So stupid. All right, we got to reel it in a little bit. Just a little bit. I've been waiting 3 days to show you guys that video. Snook's coochie fees. It's too much. It's too much. How much is this here scratch and sniff? Ghostly, I can't read that out loud for sure. For the Texan, yeah, the mattress actress. I know. They're so proud of themselves. Dad's not, but you know, that's all right. For the Texan, you got to pay taxes. Yeah, on the internet you do because you can't get away from it. So if you're getting doll hairs through, you know, PayPal and stuff, you got to pay taxes on her. That will catch up to you. But if them hookers are out in the streets getting those doll hairs, you know, quarters and doll hairs at a time, then nobody knows they got it but them. If they're not paying taxes on it, they're not an entrepreneur. Just a hoe bag. What's up, Nick? Happy freedom to you. What's up, K Walt? Happy freedom to you. Nick, the primetime blur is hilarious. Yeah, almost said Alex Stein. Pimpin' a blimp. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom to you. Harris is down there hanging out with her constituents. Meta supply and demand must be high. $85. I think it's cheap, but like I said, I don't know much about prostitution. Feeling froggy, you try that Chucky stuff here, you're getting ventilated. Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying when we covered the original story. Snooks, it says coochie fees, but I keep reading it as coochie fleas, and it's just disturbing me deeply. No, I'm sorry to hear that, Zero. For the text, I was watching an interview with a chick. Was with her dad, and she said that her dad gave her the online whoring idea. Her dad must be hurting for doll hairs, you know? Crazy sauce. Yep. I'll tell you guys all the time, that's why God made me a man, because I'd be loose and wealthy right now. Anyways, we're going to get into lefties losing it. And today it's titled Hyena Harris, speaking of prostitutes, is a Democrat fungus that won't go away. Again, speaking of prostitutes. Anyways, what color do you think Rita's wearing today? Or yesterday? Or maybe this is the one from the day before. I'm not sure. But that doesn't matter. What color is that? Yeah, okay, I think I got it figured out. What color is Rita wearing today? Tin Man, I read it as fleas also, damn it. I'm saying the coochie fleas is not good. It's not good at all. I gave you guys all dyslexia. Could have been worse. Could have been the clap. Magic Moon going with tangerine today. Very nice. For the Texan going with blue. Nick going with beige today. Daniel Detective, you talking about from South Park? I hope you're talking about that episode from South Park, because that's a hilarious episode. Meta the value hooker. This one's affordable. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. Russell going with baby shit green today. Ghostly can't give me what I already got. Can't. Rough stuff. I'm so glad we finally got to cover the prostitute story. 10-man. Magenta. Yep. No, I think Sam took off on us. My feet going peach and black. You guys aren't even able to go cheap because you don't know which lefty's losing. This is mixing it up on you guys. Meta going with topless today. She might be. Lisa going with, which one are you going with? Fuchsia or pimply ass red? Deb going with silver sequins. There you go. Meow. Larry going blue today. Meow. 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 Wrench going with taco pink today. Happy frame to you, Wrench. Taco pink. There you go. Matt. Let me tell you something. Look at this guy. Guys, we're gonna have to go, okay? I need the fancy fees. Go on, big booty. Almost there. We're almost there. Polish going with blue today. Salty Zipper going with shit brown. That can vary depending on what day it is. Teasel going with camouflage today. I don't know if anyone's ever said camouflage. You might be the first. Lisa, poor kitty's treated horribly. Yeah, I know. Magic Moon, there's the real boss. You're not wrong. Did everybody guess all their guesses on what Rita's wearing today? You're running out of time. Lisa going with infected coochie yellow. Gross. You might be right today. You never know. All right, hooligans. It looks like you guessed all your guessing. At some point this week, Rita was wearing red, and I'm not sure what that is underneath. A dress, nightgown. It almost looks a little paisley, but I'm not exactly sure. Either way, we're going with red today. Hit that like button. Let's get into this. Pimply ass red wins.
It's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's see what the world's most annoying couple are up to. Former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his pop star astronaut girlfriend Katy Perry. Well, they were irritating when they were doing this. Now the couple have taken their song and dance routine to the hardware store. Watch this performance with a toilet plunger to Xav Trudeau's new song. Yes, the Nepo baby has had a Nepo baby.
In the home hardware on St. Laurent Street. Hey, baby, I can get used to calling me baby. Down.
I feel like I need to apologize for that. I should have given you a warning beforehand, and yeah, I didn't. Sorry. Now, we're told that the left is at their core tolerant and compassionate and inclusive, and that we must try to understand and coexist with them. Then we see something like this. This is a drag show mocking Charlie Kirk, mocking the murder of Charlie Kirk. I don't know about you, but I don't want to coexist with this. And the Democrats just can't shake Kamala Harris. She's hanging around like a persistent foot fungus, and she's saying all sorts of crazy stuff again, like talking about expanding the Supreme Court and dumping the Electoral College. This woman is a threat to democracy.
Structural change. I think we need to revisit the efficacy of the Electoral College. I think we need to expand the Supreme Court and look at reforms. so much of what we are dealing with right now, back to the point of just a violation of civil rights and all that your parents and mine fought for, the Supreme Court decisions by this court that was basically at this point hand-selected by Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's the president's job, you simpleton. Nominating Supreme Court justices when a vacancy arises. That's what he's supposed to do. But not satisfied with wanting to blow up democracy, Kamala then suggests that the Trump administration is advancing white supremacy and trying to devalue the citizenship of non-whites. Here is Kamala with election denier Stacey Abrams.
That part of the pain of this moment, Stacey, is these so-called leaders who are pushing this kind of this narrative about who is a legitimate American citizen among American citizens. Yeah. This blood and soil narrative that's being pushed at the highest levels of our government to suggest that, once again, to hearken back to times when it was explicit that there was a hierarchy among Americans and who was superior and whom was inferior, all citizens.
Let's bring in Center for the American Experiment president.
All right, and that is Lefties losing it. That does wrap up the news. We are going to be getting into the fun stuff. We got our 2 funny videos of the day. First one was provided by Russell, and it's titled, "It's Hot." And President Trump is sweating his ass off. It is hot. And our official funny video of the day was provided by Colty, and it's titled, "New Summer Job." Both those coming up next. So first we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Lefties losing it. Deb, her voice hurts. Yeah. I wonder if she's actually going to run for the next primary. It'll be entertaining, but I think it'll be more entertaining to hear from AOC. Hopefully neither of those idiots win, though. Zero, and she's supposed to be a lawyer. Yeah, she's just an idiot. A drunk one. 10-man, Hyena Harris needs to go visit the Betty Ford Clinic for drunks. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, Klaus. Klaus is passing away. Russell, it's not hot here. It's humid right now. It's humid here. President Trump is sweating his nuggets off, though. I bet it's so hot wearing a suit. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be all passing out on stage and shit. I think the heat will get me before anybody else does. Polish no cackle, though. No, I'm glad they cut that part out. Do you see Klaus? He's like hopping up here and getting down and getting back up. He don't know what to do. He's got a whole tray of food. He's just impatient about his fancy feast. Meta. And the point is the top of her head. Only when she's at the meetings. Mm-hmm. Lisa, poor kitty. Yeah, poor Klaus Daniels. Zero, suit and vest. Yeah. Wrench. She looks like a $35 hair lot lizard. You're not wrong. You know, there's a lot of competition out there between, prostitutes out in New York. Just trying to undercut them a little bit. Either way, let's get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I'm going to remind you hooligans really quick. If you'd like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the video description. We have PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee. You can send something to the P.O. Box, or you can even send crypto. Let's get these funny videos pulled up.
You just have...
There we go. First funny video of the day. This one is provided by Russell, and it's titled, "It's Hot."
You just have such a unique way of speaking. It makes me appreciate silence.
Listen here, old man. I'm a little short on cash right now, so I got just enough money to either go to church and tithe on Sunday or bail myself out. So I suggest you pray with me and don't play with me.
I'm not trying to start nothing with you. Okay, I find you to be a very interesting person. I mean, what, with all your knowledge in geology?
Geology? And I don't know anything about geology.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed since you'd spent most of your life at rock bottom, you'd pick some knowledge up down there. That's my fault for assuming.
You are just insufferable. Look, we gotta get back to the meeting. Look, you gotta start charging these people more when it's 110 degrees outside. Because there's no way in hell I should be making the same amount of money when it's 110 out there as I do when it's 80.
I hear what you're saying, but we can't do temperature-based pricing. I mean, that's ridiculous. Our rate is what our rate is. It's just by the hour. Look, you want me to charge more when it's 110? What's next? Charge them more when it's 20?
Yeah, that was my next topic I was gonna bring up. Look, I'm practically a chicken nugget in the air fryer out there. I should be making more money. We gotta talk about hazard pay or something. And when winter rolls around and it's 10 degrees outside and I gotta sit in the truck for 3 hours in defrost after work, yeah, I think I should get a little bit more money for that.
I hear you, and I sympathize. Okay, it's hot out there, but hazard pay? I mean, is it really that hot?
Is it hot enough? Buddy, I saw a bird blowing a worm this morning before he ate it. It's plenty hot out there. I'll be damned if I wasn't driving to work this morning at 6:30 and the buzzards were out there having fajitas because roadkill was sizzling on the blacktop. It's hot.
Best I can do is an extra $3 an hour every hour that it's over 100 degrees.
An extra $3 an hour? What the hell's that gonna do? Give the IRS more money? No, man, no, I need at least an extra 120 a day in per diem. And that's barely gonna cover the amount of Gatorades I'm drinking a day.
I can't do that. It's not possible. Man, it's really not that hot.
Not that hot? Are you still on that? My man, it is cooking out there. Roscoe, back me up on this.
You're just soft, son. Your whole generation's soft. It is kind of hot out there, though. I've heard rumors meth heads are starting to put the copper back in the air conditioner units.
See what I'm saying, man? We gotta have some hazard pay for this heat. I mean, I've got other expenses that came about with this heat. I mean, hot damn, the lady I get my eggs from, she had to shut her business down because all her chickens are already laying hard-boiled when they come out. It's hot. We need some extra money.
You just have such a unique way.
It's hot. Getting into our official funny video of the day. This one was provided by Colty.
Where's it?
This one's titled New Summer Job.
We're just making sure no one's drinking on the beach. There's a lot of like drunk driving and stuff. Is that water or what is that?
It was water.
Are you sure there's no alcohol in there?
Nope.
You care if I can smell it?
All right, you got me.
Let me just, what is it?
That's course.
Is it? Here, you gotta dispose it, but you can just put it here for me and we'll dispose it for you. Just a little bit.
Are you sure?
I'm ready.
Eggs.
No, we just wanna make sure.
Yeah.
No drinking on the beach.
Man.
That's hilarious. Oh, thanks boss, I don't even work here.
Brother.
Yeah, have a good one. We're just making sure no one's drinking.
He said, I don't even work here. Funny. All I could think about was the backwash, so that's all right. You guys just marinate on that. Anyways, I'm gonna grab this link really quick. I'm gonna drop it in all the chats. We're gonna read through. We get the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we are raiding out over on Rumble. I almost said over on Russell. That's different. That's later in the voice chat. Anyways, there's the link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, really appreciate it. Love your guys' contributions. Keep us running every day except for Sunday. Just gotta have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join JeffMAClive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley and all the features over on the website. So definitely go get yourself a membership for JeffMAClive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Now, like I said, we're going to read through really quick. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up, and then we are raiding out over on Rumble. Guess I'm keep Twitch and YouTube on. I'm mad at both of them. Twitch isn't even live right now because it said hookers in the title, and apparently you can't say hookers in your title. 10 man. Yep. Oh, it's 9 o'clock here. Yeah. Guess what did they do? For the texting, you follow that guy on Facebook? I've never seen him before. Nick, you can't have it both ways. All the people bitching about the cold asked for this. Yeah. I don't bitch about the cold, though. I don't get cold. I get too hot all the damn time. I don't know why I'm like that. Thank you for letting us know, cheeky chaps. All right, hooligans. It is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we did the thing. Let's figure out who we're rating over on Rumble. We don't have to worry about Twitch because they're scared of hookers. So they didn't get to make it to the live today. That's not even my fault. I can only be so soft and stupid to accommodate for everybody, you know? Fuck. There's not much else I could do. Damn, everybody's live right now. Who are we going to raid? What does the list say? 0. We raided Silverwolf? No. We didn't raid Silverwolf. I don't know who we raided on Monday. I don't think it was Silverwolf, though, because isn't Silverwolf a hooligan that left? I will have to think about that. But anyways, I remember we raided the Alistair because it was his birthday. So let me see. What's the Grim doing?
Go to. It's going to be a damn good time.
You said Grim's been live for 9 hours?
I hope you guys have a fantastic weekends. Death word, play, please.
Well, let me see. I don't know how much longer he'll be live. Salty Grower was in the chat earlier today. Yeah, let's do that. We will raid Salty Grower because he was in the chat today. He's showing, I can't even think of what his name is. Nick somebody. Shirley? Nick Shirley, maybe? I don't know. Either way, hit that like button as soon as you land. Let's get raiding.
The A10s,
well,
man, that's my
consent.
favorite plane
If
ever.
in California, they do support
pedophiles. So sick.
I think you're over 18. So there are news reports happening that Nick Shirley has a small penis. Do you have any comment on Nick Shirley's allegedly small penis?
It's risky for him to be out here. He could be banned or criminalized, you know?
Exactly. I don't think does having a small penis, is that a criminal? Are you going to introduce that legislation? Assembly member?
Hey, sir,
to ban Nick
to look at your
Shirley's
penis, you'd have to
lift up your
fat.
Look at what this fucking guy has got. Who is it again? I can't remember. It is the California State Assembly Chief of Staff. Look what he's got. That's what he's out here putting in this motherfucker's face. Yeah, welcome in, everyone. This guy has baby back bitch energy.
To even look at it, so
I'm out,
you should work on that before you elect somebody else about their own penis. Hey, gentlemen, have you guys heard these public reports? Nick Shirley allegedly has a small penis. There's an investigation going on. If you like, there you go. Thank you so much.
I'm doing just fine. To see yours, you have to literally lift up a flab of fat to look at yours.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Said, you gotta lift up a flab of fat. Why are you playing in with this guy?
I mean, I don't have. I'm not. There are people aren't reporting.
Okay, a lot more wiener talk than I was expecting. Fantastic raid, you hooligans. Holy, that guy just wants to see Nick's wiener. I mean, that's the fastest way to get it done. He said, "Prove me wrong." Just slap it right across his face, I guess. That's what he's looking for. Not good. Everybody's like, why are you gay? Anyways, reading through, we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Like I said, reading through, goodness. Rated right into the wiener talk. Got some Ray to Hottie. I mean, we get Salty Grower, you know. Mission accomplished. Oh yeah, Silver Fox. Yeah, Wrench, that's who it was. Now I remember. Because I follow them on X. Russell going to voice chat. Very nice. Oh, I forgot to... Well, it's a little late now, but I will go ahead and do it anyway since I forgot that it is Friday. Drop this special link because we are doing the voice chat. I'll be there in about an hour But if you use this coupon, what's up, Pig? Happy freedom to you. You will get a free week with Hooligan status over on JeffMACLive.com. You can join us in the voice chat today. You will have access for the next 7 days to all the features over on the website, so you can watch the live, post in Hooligans Alley, and all of that. There's no strings attached. It's not going to ask for a credit card or anything like that. Just free 7 days with Hooligan status. Like I said, you could join us in voice chat today. Use all the features on the website for the next 7 days. Join us in the next voice chat until midnight, and then you can figure out if you want to throw the $10 hairs or not for the month. It's up to you, but I only throw that link out on Friday, so take advantage of it. Like I said, we are going to be doing the voice chat later today. Russell's heading there right now, and I will be in there in about an hour. Got to feed the Klaus Daniels. Anyways, reading through really quick and wrapping her up. Man, deleted the Rumble app just using the website, having issues. Yeah, I know. I have an issue where the Rumble app won't close. It'll minimize and go into the corner of the screen and just keep playing, and I can't stop it from playing. I can't close the app. I can't exit out. All the buttons on the screen don't work, and I get sick of that. And so yeah, mine's disabled right now so it doesn't pop up. Appreciate you, Plastic Quack. Thank you for being with us today. Magic Moon, too much wiener talk. Yeah, it was a lot of wiener talk there. Appreciate you, Magic Moon. Thank you, Cheeky Chaps. Thank you, MU. Thank you, Guessum. Thank you, Teasel. Thank you, Right Mind. Appreciate you being with us today. Lisa, wieners are life, I suppose. I suppose. Appreciate you being with us today, Lisa. I think we are good to go. Pick this raid over on Pilled real quick. Oh, what are we gonna do? We'll do this one, whoever that is. Anyways, I think we're good to go. Like I said, we got the voice chat going on after the live today. Russell's heading there right now. I'll be in there in about an hour. I usually hang out for a couple hours. Last time we were there late, like 4:30 in the morning, maybe even later than that. Either way, it's always a good time. Definitely join us in the voice chat. Otherwise, I'll see you Hooligans tomorrow. Free Speech Saturday. The very next coffee with Hooligans. No YouTube, no Twitch on Free Speech Saturday because we don't have time for soft community guidelines on Free Speech Saturday. So keep that in mind. Make your way to a better platform for tomorrow's live. And I think that's everything. Pretty sure. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for helping me cover the news. Thank you for helping me make the news suck a little less. You guys are fantastic. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Go find yourself some good food, have fun, and be safe. And I'm going to try and do the same. Make your way back to us tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you Hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.